All right, you guys now, right? There was something thrown off my microphone there. That was an issue. We're having all kinds of technical difficulties tonight. Can y'all hear me? Let me know in the comments. Can you hear me now? Am I coming through? Houston, are we back online? Please let me know by hitting that little button or putting a comment in there, a thumbs up. Give me something. Give me something. Let me know I'm alive over here. All right, so some of you got here. This has been a rough start tonight. So Mal was having issues on her system, getting that all situated. So she's trying to get it figured out. For those of you that didn't know, I just mentioned Todd actually is not here tonight. He's in the comments, but Todd and Shannon ended up having to lose one of their puppies. Puppies, what dog, like at this point, but had to be put to sleep. So obviously the mood isn't there. So Todd's not here tonight. Although he's in the comments, so if you see Todd in there, make sure you give him some positive thoughts as well. We got Mal back now. Now, you good?
I can hear you.
I never hit the live button, so I don't know if that was an issue. And then I started talking, and my microphone was set on something else, and nobody could hear me. This is a rough night, so I'm ready to drink. We also got Chicago represented by Dave Beer, front of the house too. So we got Chicago takeover. Usually it's a Canadian takeover, which could still happen tonight, but right now it's a Chicago takeover, which is almost in Canada when you think about it. So
just a couple lakes,
a couple lakes separate. How you doing, my friend? Good to have you in.
Oh man, had epidural injections today, so I'm a little worse for wear today.
Oh yeah. So for those of you that don't know, and Dave's brought it up many times on his podcast, stuff like that, he's dealing with the back issue, so he's getting all in to get that all taken care of. And it's been more of a pain in the butt than a pain in the back to get it done.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm in the hospital, bed. They're ready to wheel me in for the procedure, and the woman's like, I'm in the whole gown and everything, and she's handing me this thing. No alcohol for 24 hours. I'm like, oh, honey, I'm going to give you about 8. 24 is pushing it. Yeah.
Because you got dry January on the horizon, so you're trying to get it in right now.
I got to catch up. I had a package today from Alabama, so I got to hit this. Yeah.
So it sounds like a challenge to me.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure.
Wife's out of town till January 2nd. Yeah.
Got everything going for you right now.
Yeah.
Everything. Well, I'm not going to go all the way back through all the comments for like the third or maybe fourth time at this point because of the technical difficulties we had tonight. But shout out to Vanessa and Rusty for everybody being in the house. JT's in the house. Everybody's saying hello, all cordial. Todd's there listening. If you guys didn't hear what I just said there, Todd had one of his dogs he had to put to sleep today. So
oh shit, I'm sorry,
obviously, Todd. So obviously he's not feeling it right now as much, which I understand. And you have I won't say Mariah, but it's not Mariah. It's
Moira Rose is my
Moira
dog.
Rose. Yeah, I kept thinking Mariah. Like it's not Mariah.
Yeah.
And then now you have the cats and stuff too. So pets become part of people's families and stuff.
Yeah.
So I understand that and everything. So
yeah, like my wife being out of town, she doesn't ask how I'm doing. Send me a picture of the dog. How's the dog doing? The dog is fine. I took her out. She pooped. She's good. I'm okay too, in case you're wondering. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Rusty says you got a big guy beer. I got some big. I actually found some decent big beers. I don't know if I'm going to drink one of those tonight, but I found an 18% triple IPA that I can't even get here, but I got it in Jersey. It's from a Maryland brewery. I gotta have a talk with them. Like, how's that work out? Like, you make it here, but you can't provide it here. You got to send it up north. I don't know if it's the ABV or what, but it was one from Flying Dog that I had not seen before. So, and being the guy that I was, instead of me just getting one, of course I just get the 4-pack. So, I thought about later, why didn't I just get the one? What if I don't like it? Well, you got 3 others there. So, Emerson's in the house as well, but now he hears you with the sound. Technical difficulties on happy hour, right? Yeah. Let me see. They're all checking any sound. Yeah. See, Todd, it's happening. I'll have you here. I don't have my sound guy. I got nobody go mic check too that can respond back, right? So gotta find that key grip guy. Happy Mardi Gras. Yes, Mardi Gras will be that's February though, but We're early. That's okay. I'm always early for a party. I'm up for that. Dee Dee in the house. Cheers. And so there you go. So everybody can hear me now. Rusty, you're just messing with me. Yeah, Emerson, yes. I was like, yes. All right, let's see. I'm about to swallow a 50 mg gummy. Bon Voyage. Ready to go. Gummies are pretty popular. Got the gummies here all over the place, too. Yeah, I see it here. The show now, everybody's good. Yeah, Vanessa Wood has said, like, did they go live yet? I'm like, what do you mean? I looked up and I was like, I never hit the button. I did the trailer, did everything, was talking, was going through stuff. Like, I never hit the button. And now I was like, I can't hear anything. Like, I can hear her, but she couldn't hear me. Like, well, I can hear you. And it's just like, yeah.
I know, and I'm unplugging and replugging everything in, thinking I've done something wrong. Thanks a bunch. No.
I made to go back and cut that first 12 minutes or whatever. It's a
blooper
reel. Put a blooper reel out there. Like, what the hell is he doing there? Happy holidays. I'm on the road. Watch from Chromebook in Rochester, New York, drinking some old school Labatt Blue Light. Cheers. Yeah, you're around the border there, so you got some Labatt flowing through that town, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And Dee Dee said, what up, Rod? How was I making it? I feel good for him. Hope all's well with him and Shannon. Yeah, well, I think you just heard what we were talking about there. But Dee Dee, anytime you want to pop up, let me know. Dee Dee's never come on. So, yeah, you could be a special guest to come on here. You can wear your Michigan hat since they play this weekend, too. See here. Hi, Todd. Hi, Dee Dee. That's going to be a scary game, Michigan, Alabama. I'm just saying. I'm hoping Michigan gets the win, but that Alabama team's on a different level right now.
It's funny, though. It seems like even if someone plays Alabama and wins and is doing better than Alabama, it doesn't really matter because they're not going to the end games. It's going to be Alabama that goes, regardless of anything else.
That's only if you're Florida State.
So it seems like even if Michigan won, it would still be Alabama that would be decided to be the winners. It just seems that's how it works.
Yeah, well, when it comes to the selection show, SEC does get a little bit of in my opinion, and some people may disagree, but I think they get a little bit of a foot up. I think ESPN was SEC, so they get a little bit of advantage their way. So it's interesting. But Florida State is actually maybe pulling out of the ACC, and they actually were looking to go to SEC. And SEC is like rejecting them right now. They say two schools, and they say it's South Carolina and Florida that don't want Florida State because they'll draw more out of that region. So yeah. It'll be interesting. Money in sports, man. Money in sports. Hello, Dave.
And skills.
Vanessa. And if you guys haven't followed Dave on Beer in Front, make sure you pull up his channel on YouTube or in his podcast as well. I always listen to his podcast. Usually when I'm driving or at the gym or something too, which is great. Great guests on there. And,
I'm having your friend Joe on from Go. I'll put that out Tuesday.
Oh, when are you talking with Joe?
Yeah, so I talked to him last week. My days are all mixed up with the holidays, but I talked to him, and then that's all edited. That'll come out on Tuesday. Nice. So that'll be a good one to tune into and share some of those good details of everything they're doing at Go Brewing. And I actually put up a few for those that follow me on TikTok, you can follow me over there as well, but I put up some mini clips on some of the stuff we were talking about. A lot of people have been tuning into it, but so much more that we're seeing with the non-alcoholic beer market. I feel like with them, they're actually, and there's other ones that are out there doing non-alcoholic, but they're kind of on a nice little cutting edge of it because now you're seeing a lot of the big breweries start to make their non-alcoholic stuff. So they've already got the kind of that ratchet down. And as you went through, and at least for me, when I tried some of their beers, which I'm going to have their reviews probably coming out over the next week or so, I'll start getting these developed this weekend. They are good beers. They're good non-alcoholic beers that you can actually have from the ones I've had from different things, from the double IPA to the hazy IPA, whatever it may be. And I feel like what people are going to start to it's kind of like how Athletic was out there, right? Everybody kind of started going Athletic. They built that name because they were so far out front. I think Go is going to kind of have that in the Midwest area where they're going to build it up. Yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, Athletic's big, but the one that I had from them, I was not a fan. It was like, I am just not a fan of this from Athletic. And maybe that was like in the back of my mind, like when I was buying some last year for Dry January, I'm like, no, I think I'm good. I don't really need to have this one. I mean, and they've got like the name, they got the money. Don't they have like
J.J.
J.J.
Watt,
Watt
yeah.
and
Yeah.
Lance Armstrong as investors? So they got some money behind them. But yeah, that one beer, I think it was pale ale. I just didn't, it wasn't my thing. It just didn't taste good.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm 50-50 with them. I had their, what was it, the red rye IPA they did, and there was a stout one, a chocolate stout that I tried. I'm kind of 50-50. The ones that I've tried, it's like either they're okay and I'll drink them, or they're kind of awful and I don't want them.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I mean,
it's kind of a toss up for me. I don't know.
I'm not on like, Go's payroll or anything like that, but the ones that I've had from them,
They're good.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
good. They gave me a taste of the stout that I was talking to you about, Rod.
Mhm.
It wasn't in cans yet, so I just had it out of the bright tank. So it wasn't carbonated and everything,
Yeah.
but that was really good. Like I would drink this, if I just need one after work or something like that. I wouldn't have any qualms about trying that one.
Yeah.
The only ones I tried from them, it was at Beer Under Glass,
Okay.
the ones they had available at that event, and I was impressed. I thought they did great.
Yeah, they're pretty soft with that. Now they sent me the 2 6-pack, but I thought they were the same. But it turns out 5 of them were. I had 5 that were kind of repeats of the others. But I have 7 different ones, so I have 7 different ones to try that I'll end up. I just got done doing a series on the St. Bernardus beers, which was a great fun series to run through the variety pack. So now I'm going to do one on there for not, and it'll coincide here. Actually, it works out well because it'll probably be that first week of January.
Mhm.
Non-alcoholic beers that I'll be sharing for that series. But don't worry for all you non-alcohol people. I'll be back with the regular beer stuff.
Yeah.
So it won't be the whole month of January over here.
I'm going to tell you right now, if you like lagers, this from Hopewell, this is a Czech style lager. This is outstanding. I just had a sip the first time I tried this, called Verified. Holy shit, this is good. I don't know if you saw my reaction when I took a sip. I'm like, damn, this is really good.
Hopewell does a good job, though. Everything I've had so far from them has been nice. So
yeah,
I like your reaction to it. That's a seller for me.
Speaking of which, I'm a
holy
little
shit, I'm
myself.
in. Yes, I am too. So what you got there is I'm gonna crack mine open here as well.
I have Lime Creek Brewing Company, hashtag Conserve Georgia. It's a peach ginger Berliner Weiss from what is it, Marietta? No, where are they out of? I know it's Georgia.
well, with the peach, it should be, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
So they can up there again.
Just a Berliner Weiss sour.
Throw that can up there again. So never mind, she's poor. She's not listening to me. She's just talking.
I told you I was parched. You're slowing down my drinking.
My bad.
What have we talked about with slowing down my drinking there?
Yeah, don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Yeah. All right. Cool.
So, yeah. Oh my goodness. Big peach scent, but like a dirt peach. It smells dirty, like Saison style instead of Berliner Weiss. That's interesting. A little bit of spice in there too. I'm diving in. I'm thirsty.
There you go.
Ooh, just a touch of pucker, not too much. That's really nice. Like tart peach, like a peach tea that's like on the slightly tart side.
Okay.
Oh, a little bit of spice in there, a little softness on the ending, and there's a lingering aftertaste that it might be a smidge vinegary. So I might have had this in the fridge a little too long, but yeah, that's pretty tasty actually. I like that a lot.
How's the peach? Because sometimes with like peach beers and stuff, it doesn't taste fake, synthetic. Like a peach ring candy.
No, it doesn't taste synthetic. This one tastes real, but like at the same time, underripe and overripe at the same moment.
Okay.
Which is interesting because I'm still getting a bit of that Saison vinegary thing, or not, that at the end, but the start is like underripe peach. Pretty tasty though. I like that. It's not so sour that I'm puckering my face off or anything.
Rod, how's my sound? Because my heat just kicked on. Am I
You're
good?
good.
You want me to turn the heat off?
No, you're good. No, you're good.
Okay.
You're good. You're fine.
Yep.
So I'm going to crack this one open here, and this is going to be. I should pull it up. The Sour Me Gummy Bear.
Nice.
So this is from DeCall Brewing. Well, let's hold on that nice for right now. So this is one that I picked up while in Jersey, and figured I haven't had DeCall in a while. I haven't had a sour meat beer in a while. Gummy Bear. All right, let's go ahead and give it a try. Ale with pineapple and lime. And what's the ABV on this one? I want to say it's around 7, but I'm going to check. Oh, no, 5.5% ABV on it. And it's interesting because I had the gummies from Sweetwater, which did give you a little bit of a gummy candy type feel in it. I can't say the same about this one from DeClaw. So I won't ruin it, but for those of you that are on Untappd, you probably saw my first take on it when I had it over there. It's a sour. It's an okay sour. It's got the tart, got the high carbonation. Sours themselves for me have gotten to a point where it's easy to start to separate the imposters from the actual really good ones out there. And I feel like this one has that artificial. I felt like this was a mail-in from DeCall on this one. I feel like it's a part of the series. Like, we need to come up with something. Let's put something together. Okay, let's go with this. Compared to some of the other stuff they've actually done. So a little bit more of a downgraded for me. I'll have the review coming up on this one for probably next week or two as well. But there's a look at it there. It's got the hazy golden orange color. If I get it up here, as I mentioned the carbonation, you can see tons of bubble action in the glass heading up there. So as always, the head just breaks down quick because it's sour.
Do you feel sours are like not 100%, but kind of like the new IPAs where anybody could just slap sour on it just to get people to buy it like they do with IPAs?
I think it's to that level where a lot of breweries are messing around with them. There's definitely a market for the sours. Now, full disclosure, I'm a little jaded, I guess you could say, because I grew up in the shadow of Urban Artifact. Yeah. When you talk sours in the brewing industry, Urban Artifact is this trendsetter now. So I kind of market everything towards them, but they do such a great, fantastic job on their beers. If anybody ever gets a chance to get Urban Artifact for their sours, and you'll probably look at it and be like, well, these are kind of higher price. Where, trust me, if you like sours, they're worth it. They're worth going ahead and getting. They're probably the best American brewery that does sours, in my opinion, from any of the ones I've had. And they've won internationally against other breweries and stuff too. They went over to China and won the only awards from an American brewery over there versus competition. So they're very good at what they do. And with this one, I get a little bit of that artificial flavor, and it's kind of like, it's not in the sour aspect, but it's like if you have macaroni and cheese, you can tell when it's a good cheese and the cheese is baked in it versus it's just like the artificial like powder type thing or something. Now you can tell that difference. And like with sours, you can kind of tell when they put the time and effort in, they went the extra level versus ones that kind of didn't. It's almost like, I'll go back to saying like Kool-Aid versus Wilders. Like you knew there was a difference. You knew like you're trying to be like Kool-Aid, but you're really not, are you? Like you're a little more thinner, you're a little more lighter. You're watered down. You're like Kool-Aid light. And that's what some of these sours are turning into, I think. So
don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, well, but I mean, overall, it's not like, and again, it's not like it's a terrible beer. I think I gave it like a 2.5 out of the 5 as being decent enough that, I could drink it. I don't drain for or anything like that. But in the way sours are being done out in the competition that's out there, pretenders are getting sorted out like really easily. Like, I'm not messing with it. And the bad thing is if you're a new person and you're trying to sour like this and it doesn't hit you right, you think all sour tastes like, no, there's some great sours out there, but you may be turned off. It's like the first time you had a barley wine, you may not like it.
Yeah.
And then later on, you find other barley wines that you do enjoy, or just like IPAs. Some people don't hate IPAs. I had a friend that hated IPAs until they got Bell's Two Hearted and fell in love with IPAs just from that one. Didn't like the other ones. So there's always different levels that are there with the beers, and I feel like this one is definitely one of the lower tier levels with the sour. Which is sad because the series is a good series for them to call. So I just feel like there's some that you have and just feel like they get mailed in sometimes, They just don't put the full effort in. But I'm just one beer drinker in the world, and that's just my take on it. So.
That's all we are.
So Vanessa is going to be doing some beers, finding some beers tomorrow as she does some beer shopping. I actually just posted a video up on the channel earlier today from when I went over to Roger Wilco and some of the beers I actually found there. And I think I'm done beer shopping for 2024 at this point. I got so many beers I have to try to get through. I feel like the only time I'm going to buy beers, I go to a brewery. Like, I don't even go to a beer store. I got a beer store in my house. Literally, I got more beer than some beer counters do.
I'm right there with you.
I'm cleaning the cabinets before dry January. I'm hitting the cabinet.
Yeah.
I'm knocking off every barrel age that I have between now and Monday.
Well, one of the beers I ended up getting when I was in New Jersey, if you didn't see the video, I went in that caved in because it was 50 there versus 60 here and everywhere else. I got the brewery Black Tuesday, 25.4 ounce bottle, whatever. I'm like, you know what? If you put two Goose Islands together,
just 1 second, okay?
Okay. We put two Goose Islands together, you're paying that anyway for kind of just a little bit more than that. So I was like, you know what?
4 now. You saw my post yesterday. 4 of them now.
I was going to get to that too. Yeah. But so I was like, 19.4 ounces, 19.4 ABV or somewhere around there, I think, for that one. So that'll be kind of interesting. But they only bring it out every few years, so it's kind of like one of those impressive finds that you can come across. Like I said, we get it here. It was 60. That's the suggested retail price. They had it for 50. I'm like, well, you're saving 10 if you get it here. So
yeah,
I'm going
to hit my Binnies tomorrow to pick up the Lagunitas Willetized, because that's one of my favorite barrel aged, and that's usually a decent price point where it's not going to break the bank, and that's always just a rock solid one. So I'm hoping to have that at my Binnies tomorrow when I go there tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I joked about not buying any more beer, but if I do come across that is one I will buy because I've been looking for that for the last few weeks, and everybody's like, we haven't gotten it yet. We're hoping, we're expecting.
Right.
Yeah, they haven't. So
if I see some, I'll let you know.
Yeah. Hopefully it fills.
Yeah, we got to put together a care package.
Yeah. Usually we do get that stuff down here. So like we got like the fresh hop with no problem. That came through. Not the first
Okay.
One. Yeah, no, born yesterday, the fresh hop. Yeah, we got that one here with no problem when I picked those up. And I think we still have some of the fresh hop. We still have some of them Hop Slam even. So it's kind of interesting that you see that. But speaking of Bourbon County, so Dave puts the thing out there. And he's always like, yeah, I'll just wait a few weeks, whatever, blah, blah, blah. 50% off Goose Island, Bourbon County, first come, first serve. Have you been there yet? Have you actually?
I went because I had an interview yesterday, and it was like right before that interview. I'm just going through my emails. I'm like, what's this? So Mariano's, I think they're owned by Kroger, but they're like one of the local grocery store chains here in Chicago. Usually like in February, March, after the holidays, some of the grocery stores will put it out on sale. I mean, this is a month after it was released, and I'm like, shit, 50% off. So I ran there afterwards, but my Mariano's didn't carry it at all, which the Jewel, which it was right across the street from Hot Butcher.
Yeah.
They didn't carry it at all this year. So maybe only like certain grocery stores carried it. But even like the ones that carried it, that you would think it would be ultra popular, 50% off already. That's like crazy.
Yeah, no, that is. Because I mean, when I was in Jersey, and I always find Bourbon County on the shelves in New Jersey with all the different beers they have up there. They had stuff from last year. They had a couple things from a couple years ago, some of the variant releases, but they were all still full price for some of the stuff too. So maybe it's just because it's Chicago. They know it's pretty much everywhere for the most part. But I don't know why you would cut it that low just a month out, though.
Yeah. I mean, I remember even 5-6 years ago, Like you'd put on the news on Black Friday, which is the day it would normally come out at,
Yeah.
and you'd see like the news would have lines at Binny's. They would talk about people are lining up for this. People just don't line up for it anymore. I mean, it's still a good beer, but like Revolution, Half Acre, Hop Butcher, even Old Irving. There's so many great breweries locally that if they're not at Goose Island's level, they might have even topped them.
Mhm.
Like, I don't need to wait in line and spend this kind of money for it. So, I'm not sure what the answer is, but maybe they got to dial down production a little bit and increase more of that, buzz where, I can't get this.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was insane. Still in December, 50% off.
Maybe the Anheuser-Busch guy was like, hey, if you could just sell some Bud Light for us, we'll give you 50% off on the Bourbon County. I can get my Bud Light numbers up on the sheet.
Yeah. Knock some here's some 312. Knock some of that out too.
No, but hey, if you can get it for sure. So
yeah, there's another one that I'm gonna try to hit tomorrow and see if there's any like on the shelves there.
Yeah.
Because even if I'm doing dry January, that could sit a couple months. I'll be good.
Yeah. I gotta use all these like Dave deals or something. I got the Rod J deals. Like Dave's got his beer front deals now.
Yeah.
Emerson, so sorry, Todd. That's the worst. So yeah, sure, Todd appreciates that. Just, thanks. Wish I was bitching stuff for it. They are found. Yeah. I get it.
We understand.
Drinking one of my favorite beers, Silver Morning by Maplewood, a great Doppelbock at 6.
Oh yeah.
Oh, very nice.
I love Maplewood.
Everybody says good stuff about it. They got Sam up in Australia. He's actually down in Australia, but he's up now for us. So cheers, Sam. Don't even get me started on New Year's resolutions and the people that make them, then break them a week later. Some stick with them. I mean, but I think most do. I like when you go to the gym, when you first get to that gym, and it's like all these people show up, and then like give it 3 weeks, and it starts to clear back out. Like,
yeah.
like your body wasn't built for this. Cheers, Sam. You want to change something in your life, just do it whenever it suits, not just the time of year because it's fad or trendy. Well, yeah, but like people go to midnight mass at one time during church, during Christmas season. People do stuff.
She feels very intensely that the date is arbitrary, that if you're going to start a habit, start it whenever and just actually do it. I've had the same New Year's resolution for 15 years straight, and I feel like I have kept it every single year, and I'm very pleased with myself.
Drink more beer?
No, that would have made sense, but that's not the one I chose. No, mine is to be slightly better every day. So either I learn a new thing, or I have a good interaction with another human, or, like I rest, or just be slightly better every day. And I feel like that's an accomplishable one, and I feel kind of good about it. So,
you know what the funny thing is? When people couldn't hear me earlier, and I'm going to go back and probably cut down the roll, but I was actually saying that's a good resolution, just to be better every day. And then over time, you become a better person. But it's just so funny you said that there. It's like, that's what I said earlier, but nobody heard me.
No, it's my attempt to be a slightly better person every day that passes. I probably haven't done it every day, but I feel like I do pretty well on it. So, yay.
Well, as a society, there's a lot of people that can try to be better. It would be a better world for sure. Cheers to Liz. Liz says hi.
Hey, Liz.
Also, to dry July instead of dry January, obviously because of the opposite of seasons. No one wants to give alcohol in the hard summer, right? Yeah. Well.
That's fair. That's fair. The U.S. wouldn't do well with a dry July.
No.
Not with 4th of July happening and everything. There's just no way.
Yeah, DeClaw hit and miss, Todd, right? And that's the thing. And I've heard people actually say that as well. Because, in fact, when I actually put that out there, it was our buddy Beer Out podcast. And she was like, asked me about it. I thought because she would say it was hit or miss for her too. So yeah, it's
I actually think I have one in my fridge. If it's not in my fridge, it's in my cabinet. A buddy of mine, he's in Nashville, and he sent me like a bunch of stuff from down that area. So there was a Dewclaw in that package. So I'm like, all right, I'll try it. But I'll have to look and see. When I go grab another one, I'll see if it's in the fridge. But he sent me some weird shit. There was like a stout aged on oyster shells. I'm like, dude, I don't know if I'm gonna have that one.
Well, you get the Flying Dog Pearl necklace. That's oyster beer. I mean, it's a good stout. It's a good stout.
All right, well, you enjoy it.
Have to get past the name, but
Yeah.
Yeah. The way I read Urban Dictionary. Oh, that'd be a good name for a beer.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't.
Mal has no idea what we're talking about.
I've had one oyster stout ever.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say one pearl necklace. No.
One oyster stout ever, and no, I thought it was fine.
Okay.
I had a friend who brewed his own oyster stout and then found out after he drank a bunch of it that he was allergic to shellfish, so that was fun.
Oh, that'd be interesting afterwards, yeah.
Yeah, that didn't go so well.
Yeah.
He's based out of New Zealand, I think. He has a YouTube channel too, grows his own hops and stuff, but I his name is escaping me at the moment. I will think of it soon, though.
So the good thing with having an oyster stout is you get some of that salinity in the back too. It's just like a goza, but in the stout, depending on how they do it and everything too. So I enjoy it. So
how high was somebody when they decided, let's see, a stout and oysters, what could go wrong? How fucking high was somebody when they first came up with that idea?
Not as high as used from a woman.
Yeah.
That's new beer coming out from the creator that one of the breweries teamed up with overseas. They're going to use her yeast from down below to ferment into beer. So yeah, see how that's going to go over. Mal, comment?
No, I'm going to steer clear of this one. Thank you. I'm good.
And I'll let you review that beer. That one's on you.
We'll leave that to one of our international correspondents. I can get that.
Well, for the oysters, I figured someone was looking around the kitchen and going, okay, so what can I age this beer on? I have moldy asparagus. I have, onions from 2 months ago, and I have a pile of oyster shells from yesterday. Let's go with the oyster shells.
Yeah. I've had an asparagus beer.
I have too.
Yeah, I think it's in Michigan. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like,
in Traverse City, right brain. I had that too. It's an asparagus blonde, and it wasn't bad. I liked it.
I asked the bartender, I'm like, is this going to make my pee smell? And she just like shook her head at me, and she's like, you're probably not going to like it. And she just gave me a taster of it.
I think you had the same person as we did because she asked the same question and they gave us a taster. So
yeah, I'm
well,
like,
we liked it. So.
Yeah, no, I wasn't a fan of the asparagus beer.
We also like to eat asparagus a lot, so
yeah, I do too. But I'm like, in a beer, no, that wasn't my favorite.
Of course, does it count as a veggie count if it has veggies in it in the brewing? Can you still count that as your vegetable?
It did make your pee smell. I'll tell you that.
I don't know if you can count that as your veggie intake, though. I'm pretty sure they get rid of a lot of the nutrients from the veggies in the midst of all the mash boil stuff that they do.
Yeah. Well, then I can't use it. Tata UA Urban Artifact is fantastic. Yeah, it's worth it when you try their beers. I mean, you ever would have like the way a sour is done, like here in the States as a representative, you want an Urban Artifact beer. I stopped drinking IPAs. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Of the styles in my beer fridge where I keep, IPAs are one of the lower ones. Mainly stouts, porters, barley wines, sometimes brown ales, Belgian ales, quads, triples, whatever. But IPAs are probably the one I have the least. And if it is an IPA, it's usually going to be a double or triple for the main part. I mean, nothing against IPAs, but I still will drink them. But I feel like that's the one style that give me palate fatigue more than anything else. Have an open house January 1st from 2 p.m. until. Contact me for details. Love to see you. Well, there you go. Open house soiree with JT. You two are in Chicago. Y'all know JT.
JT, you got dogs around? Can I bring the dog?
Because you're not actually too far from JT where you're at, I think, Dave.
No,
right?
I don't think so. When we were talking when we met you, I think we're fairly close. Yeah, I mean, I'll see. I'm not doing anything. My wife's still out of town, so.
There you go. Libations and delicious Hungarian dishes. So there
I'm
you
a
go.
fan.
Sadly, I work both New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to do it. I mean, you're the brewery, so what are you going to do? I mean,
It's the whole GM thing. I'm kind of stuck. I got to be there on good days.
I mean, New Year's Day isn't like Christmas Day. Like some breweries they close for Christmas Day. Although it was funny, New Jersey, there were a couple that were open like 4 or 5 hours that day. I guess for people that wanted to come in and get away.
Well, we were open from 9 to 4.
Yeah, but I figured they all be closed. That was funny. Yeah, and there were a couple beer stores that were open as well. Like, cause I was like, there's that store. Like, I saw cars a lot. Yep, it's open in there. So yeah. It's funny when I went to.
Not everyone in the country celebrates Christmas, so I mean, it's you say
celebrate Christmas. I say in-laws showing up and people. I need more to drink if you're going to be here. But it's funny when I went to Roger Wilco, there were like tons of alcohol being. Like guys are coming out with like 3, 4, 5, 6 cases, and it's just like I'm just looking like, how much family do you have coming over? Or are you like supposed to bring it for like? I mean, you guys got enough there. Like, you're going to be going hard into the night drinking that stuff. What's the head count for that party? Yeah. Cheers to Paul in the house, PA Brew News.
Hey.
Cheers, Paul.
What's happening, Paul? Paul used to be in Pop-Tart land, which is the Pop-Tart Bowl was on tonight.
Yeah. I thought he wasn't doing that anymore.
No, he's not, but he used to be there in Pop-Tart land. Now he misses Pop-Tarts. No, he doesn't like Pop-Tarts. But I'm going to still say he probably does. He's probably a closet Pop-Tart eater. Just away from people can't see him. Hey to Paul. Hey, Mal, thanks for the doggy beers. I'm drinking an old.
I gave him a beer called Thiel Gazer. It has Thiel's like a grape, the powdered grape skins that I talked about from New Zealand put into it, so it has a really tropical.
Oh yeah.
And he was making a joke because he calls it, instead of Thiel Gazer, he calls it the old geezer, and he's been drinking that. We might have dropped off 2 cases for him over Christmas. So
is that like a Sauvignon Blanc type? What's the taste profile on that?
So it's all tropical fruit front, and you can't pinpoint specific tropical fruits. It's like the New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc grapes.
Okay.
Like how those wines have that big tropical fruit flavor, but you can't really pinpoint. Same thing happens to the beer. Okay,
because that's like one of my favorite wines. I love Sauvignon Blanc. Yeah. So
they have this ingredient. It's called Phantasm, I think, that you can order from New Zealand from these grapes, and you put it into the whirlpool when you're making the beer, and it'll up your the scent and the fruit flavor on the hazies. Apparently, it did a great job. It was really tasty. So, all
right, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I remember when you were coming up with that one. That was awesome.
Yeah, I saw an article about that Phantasm, and I talked to the owners of the 2 breweries that I worked at, and one of the breweries decided to go ahead and order it in and make a beer, which is really exciting for me.
So you ordered it? Really?
Cool. Like, you ordered it? You're doing the thing that I told you to do? Why haven't you made my pickle beer yet?
Yeah,
right?
Actually, that is what I said. I said, oh, neat, you're doing that thing that I said. Now do the other thing that I asked for like 3 years ago.
All right, brother. Well, have a good night, and tell Shannon, give Shannon our best.
Cheers,
Todd. Down too. So and Kaylee as well. I know she missed the dog as well. So And the dog, because the other dog's probably missing the other dog. Like, where's?
Oh yeah, the other
He
dog's
was
probably
right
gonna
here.
be worse. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what happened? We were all here together this morning. Yeah.
You need to borrow one, Todd. I got your back, brother.
Because can't ship a FedEx day.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, Todd. Stay safe from JT. Same to family, Todd. Yep. Thanks. John Pierre. I'll take a look here, John. Give me a little bit.
While you're scrolling through that, I'm going to stretch my back out a bit and grab another beer. I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
There you go.
Nice.
I've had Braid River Oyster Stout based in Mobile, Alabama. Really good. See, oyster stouts could be a good little thing for sure.
I like them. At least the one that I've had, I enjoyed.
And we got Jared in the house, my buddy Jared. Jared used to work with. He actually was my manager for a bit, but great to see you, my friend. Hopefully you had a great Christmas and set for a nice New Year's. I'm loving seeing what stuff you're doing with the sports. He's actually broadcasting sports stuff down there in Kentucky as well. So that is pretty cool. Let me see here. JT says, I'm with you on IPA. See that really drink those anymore. Yeah. But I mean, if it's a good IPA, like if we're going to talk like, if it's a solid IPA, it's definitely, you can make your name off that IPA in good shape if you're looking at something like Hop Butcher, for instance, or even, I don't even know what you guys are doing on the Ravinia, what you guys, which was like, have we ever talked about like what your feature was style? Like, what do you guys?
Oh, the flagships for us?
Yeah, like the flagship for Ravinia Brewing.
Our food truck Pilsner is the first one. It's woody and floral. Has a bit of a bite to it, but not too bad. Very easy drinking, good lawnmower beer style, We have our Steep Ravine, which is our, they call it a Midwest IPA, but it's just a West Coast IPA that's more palatable to people than just the West Coast drinkers. So, but really, really nice pine forward, very resiny, but again, super drinkable. I also love their Baldwin Porter. It's they call it a chocolate porter just because of the color of the, grains. So there's no adjuncts in it, but it does have a bitter chocolate flavor. And I think it's really smooth, really, really nice. And then their Diversity Station is their Juicy Sessionable Pale Ale. That one won a bronze medal at the Great American Beer Fest in 2022, I believe. And it's very grapefruit forward with a dry finish, almost like a Chardonnay. So it kind of snaps that on you. But those are the 4 major ones. And then they have other rotating ones that go throughout the year. And they're trying new things all the time. But as far as like the traditional beers, they do a really, really nice job sticking straight to how the tradition is supposed to be. As far as the flavor profile and everything, they're pretty spot on as far as the flavors go for the traditional beers. Like there's nothing that's like super wow factor, but all of their stuff is pretty darn good. So, yeah.
Well, I feel like with those styles, it's got like a little bit more of a niche type play, a little bit more not in the mainstream, which is a place I like to find where you're not in that mainstream. You're kind of like, okay, this is the lane we're in. This is the lane we want to operate in. Sit back and enjoy over here. Like, we don't have to go chase everybody else. That's like here in Baltimore, one of the breweries we frequent, Guilford Brewery, you don't even get an IPA there. It's all basically European type beer styles. And it's just like so nice to have a refreshing place where you can go and you can get like, you can get like the Pilsner, you can get a Bock, you can get all these other different things. Belgian, they have a good Belgian, I want to say theirs is a Belgian triple, I believe. And so it's just different. So it's kind of like, not like walking into one of like Pariah or one of the other breweries they have here where it's all IPA in your face type thing. Yeah. It's a little different setting. It's kind of, different feel. It's a different crowd, I think too. It's more relaxed, more chill. It's funny, we go there like sometimes on a Wednesday night. And Wednesday night they do trivia. So we're eating dinner, me and the wife were drinking and all trivia stuff. And we're like always getting the questions and stuff up there. Like we never participate in trivia because we're just sitting there, we don't know how we're going to stay. And I swear, every time we're there, we could have won. It's like, I don't know what you win by. I know at one point they give you free shots, full stuff, and do stuff. But it's like, at some point we'll have to compete there. But it's just so funny. Like they'll answer stuff, and either she knows the answer or I know the answer, it seems. So
nice.
they have to participate.
Now, one other thing that Ravinia does really well, they have a rotating hazy series. It's like a Chicago small batch hazy series they do. And it's always small batches. And they've had a couple that have come back due to people asking for them so much. But like they had Sultana Serpent that only had Sultana hops in it. They had Medusa's Lagoon, which only had Medusa hops in it. The current one is Azaka Atoll, which only has Azaka hops in it. They did one called Source of Truth, which was one of the popular ones that has come back once or twice now, but that was like a 9%. Most of their hazies are sitting around 7.2-ish. But I really enjoy their hazies. Like, the guys know what they're doing. And I'm hoping in the next few months to actually get into the brew house and start kind of helping on that side of things, because I've been talking to the owners about getting at least one day over there every week or so. So I'm really excited to like start seeing what they're up to. She was already helping at the brew house at the tap room he's the GM at, and he's getting all this beer knowledge, and I'm like, oh, I want in there. I want to know what's going on. And his tap room's very, very small compared to mine. Like the amount of beer that we're putting out, having 2 locations, opening another production facility, all that stuff. So it's 2 totally different levels, and I really want to see how it works. So super excited to get in there when I do.
Any more, before I switch over to the other comment here, any more notes on the front there with against the festival type stuff? And JT, dogs are welcome.
Oh, all right, very good.
JT said. Have you guys heard anything else there about the whole Raffininia Festival? And
I do know that the owners have their hands full at the moment, and I know that they're fighting hard on the paperwork trail that is the court system. So yeah, they've been a little distracted, but I'm just holding down the fort, pushing on through. That's kind of where we're at right now, and keep the ball rolling and hope for the best every day.
Yeah, I don't know if it was you, Mal, or somebody reached out to me and said, like we could talk this week. And then they were like, well, there's some things up in the air, legality, with legalese. So, we'll talk, try to get together in a couple of weeks.
So that probably would have been Chris. He's one of the owners. And I had dropped your name as someone that he could talk to on social media. Yeah. Because you have a nice following, and we could use all the support we could get, because we're still a itty bitty little brewery just trying not to get drowned by this powerhouse of money that is attacking us right now. Yeah. So, I did drop your name to the owners. So obviously one of them reached out, but I know the lawyers have been like, hold up. Because
that was the impression I got. And I didn't think anything, I would talk to anybody. I'm like, I'm sure there's lawyers involved, and they don't want you like speaking ahead of time. So also one thing, we weren't allowed to have live music like this whole time I worked there, and I keep, every time I see the owners, I'm like, can I bring in musicians yet? So honestly, they're saying it was a breach of contract. The contract is currently null. I should be able to bring in music. I'm dying to bring in music. So we'll go out there and sing together. We'll just
no,
we'll do like Islands in the Stream. We'll be like Kenny and Dolly out there.
Right?
No, we would be allowed to do a karaoke at the tap room, but we're not allowed to have like paid musicians come in. And it's just ridiculous. And I really want paid musicians. I have a bunch of people that I know who are, I was a music teacher, for God's sake. Like, I know a bunch of musicians. I'm like, I can bring in these people and it'll be amazing. Yeah. I just want to be able to do that.
So that whole thing's kind of crazy.
Oh, for sure.
Disco in the house. Cheers, my friend. My New Year's resolution is always resolved not to make any New Year's resolutions. There you go. If y'all haven't checked out Rascal Disco, and thanks for being up late with us, because they're overseas as well. Make sure to check out their channel. They do some pretty good beers from across the ocean there as well.
Where they at? They at YouTube and all that? I don't think I follow them.
Yeah. Rascal and Disco or YouTube. And on Instagram, I believe, as well.
Let me pull that up and follow them.
They got
I'm going to have to look them up too.
Yeah, they got a fun channel. Appreciate you, my friend. Happy New Year. New Year or New Year's? What do you usually say? Do you find yourself catching yourself? Like some people say Happy New Year, and some people say Happy New Year's.
I say Happy New Year. I say
Yeah.
New Year's if I'm talking about a New Year's resolution or a New Year's party or New Year's Eve. But
Yeah.
if you're saying Happy New Year, it's I hope you have a
Happy
Happy New Year. You know?
Or you could just say years if you don't want to repeat yourself.
Yeah.
Just give me New Year's
There
and
you go.
we're good for like 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're good for 10 years. Just don't bother me.
I'm
Some
telling
say
you Happy New
years,
Year
some
so
say
you won't
years.
talk to me anymore.
All right, Rasco and Disco just followed you on Instagram. Let me grab you on YouTube real quick here.
We'll bring in another victim, guest for tonight's happy hour. We got John Pierre in the house.
Hey,
Where's he going, John Pierre? Where you going? You got to stay on camera.
it's out of the house now.
I'll bring him back when he's back. Let's see here. You can get a beer probably. Ravinia does a solid job with the variety of styles. There you go, JT.
Aw,
Appreciates it. Yes, DD. Appreciate people hit the like. That does help out to hit the like as well. And believe it or not, I caught up with the comments down there right now. So
What? No.
I'm going to crack open a beer so I can clear the whistle. And
All right, Rasco and Disco are subscribed.
Yep, same here.
Yeah.
this beer is a tasty beer. So because it's tasty beer, I have to give it the proper entrance. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Too bad Shane's not here because Shane would love this beer. So this is the Lawson's Mad River Maple Ale. This one comes in 8% ABV. Straight from the Green Mountains to your heart. Lawson's, usually you know them for their IPAs, but they packed in the maple for this one. Yeah, so I'm going to crack this bad boy open. This is one I grabbed up in Jersey as well. Welcome, John Pierre.
Good evening, everybody. Hope
evening.
all of you had a wonderful Christmas and an early happy 2024. Prosperous new year to all of you.
Thank you. Same to
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
Same to you.
Live long and prosper. Did Fathead open a location in Chicago?
Let the Schwartz be with you.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, JT said, John, best wishes to you too. Yes, sir. So let's crack this maple ale. Footnote, I have had one of these already.
Yeah, I got no beer tonight. I do have beer, but not the beer that most of you will drink. But
You
I
can
just
drink
want
any
to
beer
hear
you want to drink.
No, I just want to hear the conversations that you guys have Dave and Mallory and Chua. I want to hear what beers you all have tonight and hear the conversation. Because the beer I have is not.
It's
Oh,
It's
talk
not
about it.
we're
Talk
not,
about it.
we're not beer snobs. You can go ahead and
Yeah.
grab that old Iron City. It's all good.
I mean, we talk about old school.
Wait. Why are you
Yeah.
thinking there's beers that we don't drink?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, Chew given a choice, he's going to reach for a Bud Light first.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. He does.
I mean, I talk about Schlitz all the time.
I mean,
I got a
in
Schlitz
high
hat,
school, I grew up
Schlitz
with a
shirt.
Red Bull and the Blue Bull, so don't bother
Yeah.
me.
And I'll break out a Coors now and then, no
Yeah.
problem.
I'm drinking and
Judge, man. We know a society that loves to judge.
We're not beer Nazis, so don't worry about that.
No,
yeah.
we're
Yeah.
just really big
Society
beer
that loves
fans.
to
As long as it's
judge.
not a Founders, we're good. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's not found.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, Keystone. That's all right. You
I haven't
know,
had Keystone in a long time.
we have no stone people here, so you're not going to get sued over it.
Yeah.
So you're in good shape.
Something easy, something to take away the ease of the pain, whatever you want to call it. But it is a perfect. Here we are saying goodbye to 2023. We have 3 more days, and why not?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. So you go to a lot of the craft breweries, and my experience talking with the guys, meeting the guys, and Mal, you're at a brewery now there. Dave, you talk to a lot of people. A lot of these guys, at the end of the day, they kick back and they'll drink a Coors Light or a Bud Light or sometimes a natural type thing because they want something not too heavy. They've been around heavy beers all day. They just want something nice and easy to go into the night with. So a lot of your craft people that work in the industry are drinking those beers.
They're drinking the high life. Yeah.
Okay. So never be afraid to fly your beer flag.
No.
Never.
No doubt. I just sent a link to my channel right now. So for all of you who want to watch on my YouTube channel, I sent a link, and you can watch my videos. The last review I did was the Clown Shoes Maple Tree Imperial Stout. So that's the last video I did from Clown Shoes Brewery up in Boston and Windsor, Vermont. So
there you go. Yeah, that's what I say. If you guys, Mal's I got here, so Dave's, if you want to put your channel in too, I can actually put it in there as well. Actually,
yeah, that's all right. It's easy enough to find. I'm drinking from New Heights in where they at Nashville. This is actually pretty good. This is Coffees and Cream. This is a cream ale with vanilla beans and coffee from Costa Rica. I'm going to say this is pretty good. I'm digging this one.
You seem pretty surprised though when you said Nashville. You seem surprised that Nashville can make a good beer at first. I was a little worried.
No, but like New Heights, isn't it like an Ohio thing? So that's what caught me off guard. Yeah. So I thought, like, wait, is this from Tennessee or Ohio?
Well, if you like peanut butter beer, if you ever get any of the Tailgate beers from Tailgate Brewery, you'll like those. They do really good peanut butter beer.
No, I love when they put coffee in the light beers, in the cream ales or in the golden ales, or I love it when they do that. I always enjoy those.
Yeah, I mean it's great in the stout, but it's nice. It's like something different you're not expecting from a lighter beer. It's like, oh wait, this is really good.
Well, Penrose had one. It was a coffee golden that they did, and it was to die for. This must have been like 2 years ago, and they haven't had it back because I kept watching. But it was so good. I just love those.
Yeah.
So you didn't get Fathead Brewery. You got Fathead cans there, okay, from Ohio.
Yeah, I've heard that. I have not seen them yet. The places I stop at, but it was holiday week, so hopefully like next week when I'm not drinking, they'll be available everywhere.
Right?
Most likely.
Yeah, it'll be damp January, not dry. It'll be.
There you go.
Speaking of not drinking, I need to run for a new can.
I just pulled you down just because I want to keep everybody in the camera if they're here. So if you walk away, let me know.
Yeah, I walked away. I had to get some things, so
but Fathead does some great beers out of I want to say it's Middlesburg, Ohio, I believe. And I met their owner years ago, and always been impressed with some of their stuff.
Wasn't that like the Brewery of the Year? They just won like a ton of GABF awards a couple months ago, I thought.
They usually represent pretty well out there. I tell you, the one beer they put out is their Gumball Head. And every beer fest I've done, like people will line up like crazy for it. It's like hundreds of beers around here, but people are in line to get that Gumball Head. They just love it.
Gumball Head, Street Floyd.
Game over.
Who am I
This
thinking
game
of?
is
You're
over.
right.
Over.
Jean-Pierre, you got to stay focused, man. Nobody's watching the game.
What's the score?
27 now. If they hit the extra point, 27-7 Cleveland over the Jets. Yeah. Game over. This was the game that allegedly Aaron
Bumbleberry is the one for
Right.
Fathead, not the other one, Gumball Head.
Yeah.
I get the confused. So I'm not a huge fruit beer person, so
Yeah.
but that's one that people love. Now their Headhunter IPA is pretty solid.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about IPAs and their Hop Juju with their double IPA, which is pretty good. So, but they do well. They do well. I think people will like them there. Let's see here. And then we got Black Hog from Oxford, Connecticut. Oh, I think I saw a Black Hog beer. I want to say when I was in Jersey at one point, but I don't think I got any of it. So, but yeah. As far as I know, Fathead only has very limited distro, but several local bottle shops have had these beers for the first time. All right. See, I was used to them where we were at because we got them in Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I'm farther stretched out a bit.
Yeah, I think Beer Temple has them here. I haven't seen them at Bottles and Cans yet, or like a couple spots I've gone to. But yeah, it's one definitely on my list to check out.
I think he's had a bunch of Keystone Lights tonight.
Yeah.
Cheers, friends. You know what Keystone Light? You got to drink to get a buzz.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Keystone Light.
No.
You got a lot of money on Cleveland tonight.
No, I was say Rajay, everyone on the panel. I did have I was hanging out with someone. They were celebrating their 15th year anniversary at a job.
Oh, nice.
That's not that far. And also, it was a fellow classmate of mine's, lives in the Atlanta area. So yes, we had a little bit of I made it back home in one piece.
All right, well, there you go.
Right now, so.
You know you're not good when you're just like, I had a little bit of, you can only say the words.
Yeah.
You're like,
I had to be there in support.
Yeah.
In support. Made it back in one piece. So
that's what friends do.
without question.
Yeah.
Without
They
question,
usually
so.
North Canton Brew Pub and no, my Saints have no chance though this season. I'm pulling for Lions. You know, I'm telling you, if it's the Lions and Browns in the Super Bowl, you guys better start making plans.
That would be insane.
Yeah.
You better start making plans
That
for
would
Vanessa
be
because that'll be end days. If Lions are playing the Browns, it's over. It's over. Forget about it. You already know the 2024 election is going to be kind of crazy. All this shit happening around the world.
You got 90-year-old Joe Flacco out there making all those old guys proud. Yeah.
If you've seen on Netflix, Leave the World Behind, just start heading to the hills because shit's about to go south at the Super Bowl.
Rajay and everyone on the panel, the highest rated Super Bowl was that one between Seattle and New England with the pass that Russell Wilson threw. That
they
went
got paid off for.
It's about Malcolm Butler. Yeah. If Cleveland and Detroit play in that Super Bowl, that will top it because it will be so many people watching it.
Yeah.
Because Cleveland's been waiting for a championship, so has been Detroit, just like it was with the Cubs.
Well, they've been waiting to get. They've been waiting to get. Neither one's been to Super Bowl, so they've been waiting to try to get there. Even
just like it was with Cleveland and Chicago in that World Series in 2016. That got what? Like the Game 7 got what? 42 million viewers.
Yeah.
That Game 7.
I'm telling you,
if they played in that Super Bowl,
Got to represent Barry Sanders in the house here.
That would be
mega numbers. I'm telling you, if they play Super Bowl against each other, I'm out of town. I'm leaving. Yeah. I'm going to the hills. I'm going to. Yeah. I'm not even trying to buy a house. I'm just going to go live in Vanessa's backyard because I know
I'll be wearing my jersey right there, Sanders 20.
I wish y'all could see how Chu's been dancing around for the last few months as the Lions have done so well. Yeah. So, I actually the first Lions Bears game where they won in the last 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and everyone expected the Bears to win there at the end, and nope, it just got snatched right out from under them. Chu was working that day at the tap room. Yeah. And there were Bears fans in there, and he was wearing his Lions jersey. He ain't messing around.
Yeah.
He's like, I hope nobody punches me, but I'm wearing Lions jersey today.
Yeah. So yeah, I was at a Bears Lions game in the early 90s, and there were fights in the first quarter. It was just an ugly scene. And then
Was
Barry
it in Detroit or
Sanders,
here?
no, it was here.
Okay.
And Barry Sanders just ripped off like a 50-yard touchdown run. I'm happy. Everyone's looking at me. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. And they look at me. I'm like, well, he's on my fantasy team. Oh, okay, you're good, bro. You're good.
You can win overall, but I need these points.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's
Yeah.
nice. All right.
Shout out.
Yes.
Shout out to Dee Dee who came in with the
Yay.
super chat. So appreciate you, my friend, and always nice. Goes right to the beer fund, which the beer fund is always thankful and appreciate you. I was looking for my thing here. Did I move it? I must have moved it again.
Oh no, you moved all your sound effects. What are you gonna do?
I got too many of them. So thank you for that.
Got another beer.
Of course you do. Of course you got another beer.
So this one is from Ravinia Brewing Company. It's Night Ravine Black IPA.
Why does it look like it's from Terrapin? It looks like the can. Dark. Okay. The Terrapin Hopsecutioner.
Yeah. But this was made in conjunction with Highland Park's local firefighters, Local 822. And it celebrates Camp I Am Me, which is a camp that the firefighters, with us, that we raise money for this camp. It's for kids who've been badly burned in fires, where they can all go to this camp and like feel normal and stuff. So it's like a really good thing that the firefighters do, and we made this beer in conjunction with them. In fact, some of the firefighters were there in the brew house working on it and stuff, which was kind of cool. So, but yeah, it has roasted chocolate malt, citrus, and pine aromatics, and it's a 6.4 ABV.
Is it available in both spots?
Huh?
Is it available in both spots or just the Highland Park one?
I think both locations should still have some left. I know we have 2 or 3 cases left, none on tap, but we have cases left. Same for the Chicago location. They should actually have a little more than we do.
Okay. I might maybe run in there tomorrow. I love a black IPA.
This one's pretty nice. The hops that they use definitely give off that chocolatey, like spiced kind of background and super malty front, but then it ends like a light West Coast IPA. It has that piney close to it. And for me, not being really an IPA drinker, I adore this beer. I really do. It's not the best black IPA I've ever had, but it's quite good. I actually really liked Microphones. Microphone had a really nice black IPA. Yeah.
I don't know if you ever remember. Did you ever have from where were they in Michigan? Oh God, I can't think of them now. Right over the border, but it was called Anger. That was like one of my favorite black IPAs.
Right over the border of Michigan, like
Michigan, Indiana border.
Yeah.
Anger.
Okay, so right there's Ghost Isle, there's Tapestry, there's Beer Church, there's oh God, the place across from Tapestry. I'm blanking on their name, but there's like 7 different.
You're talking about Greenbush.
Yes,
Greenbush. Oh, I have been to Greenbush. They're nice.
Yeah, their Anger IPA was a black IPA. That was like one of my favorites of all time.
But yeah, this one is called Night Ravine. So if you stop by there tomorrow, it's quite good.
What time they open tomorrow?
It's healthier than you would expect. They had a Schwarzbier a few years ago called St. Hildy's Fire, and I could tell the moment I tasted this that they used exactly the same malts in it, and it made me really happy because I tasted the St. Hildy's Fire, and then it went to this like piney close. It's kind of fun. They did some neat things.
Night, Dee Dee. Have fun golfing. It must be nice to be in one of the states where you can still golf at this time of year. Thanks again, my friend. Liz just educated me about the lack of major 7th chords in traditional country music. Did not realize that.
Well,
Neither
major circuit chords don't appear in a lot of
Browns last championship. It
a
was
lot of
65th, honestly.
general type music.
Yeah.
It's-
And if the Browns and Lions play, that will beat the record of the Super Bowl 49 in terms of viewership. I would say 125, 130 million viewers.
I don't know. I mean, there's the rest of the country
Super
wants.
Bowl, neither has the Lions been to the Super Bowl. They play each other. That will be Buffalo ratings.
I just wonder if that many people in the country want to see those two play.
Yeah.
Because usually
It
it's more
could
coastal.
happen.
It
Usually
would be
more
the
coastal.
novelty. It would be the novelty of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Although the payout from a guy that would have went to one of the sports books at the beginning of the season
Yeah.
and said, I would have bet the Lions and Browns Super Bowl has to be astronomical what he would get off what he put down, probably. Bookie's like, I'll take that bet. Okay. Half Acres Winter IPA called 10, 6.8%.
10's a good one. I did a video on 10 the other day. I'll probably put that one out tomorrow, but yeah, I enjoyed 10.
Yeah, Schwartz beers are always nice to have.
Oh yeah.
By the way, from now until Monday, wall-to-wall football. Get your beer, get your food, and all that good stuff. You got the Cotton Bowl tomorrow. This game, which is basically a blowout right now. You got the Cotton Bowl tomorrow. You got the on Saturday. You got the Peach Bowl and the Orange Bowl. You got all the NFL game, and of course, you got Dallas and Detroit on Saturday in the NFL. You got all the NFL games on Sunday. And then you got the bowl games on Monday, including the semifinals, Michigan and Alabama, Texas and Washington, just all wall-to-wall football from now until Monday.
Can everybody tell John's a little excited right now?
Yeah.
The college games, they started like Tuesday, I think yesterday or whatever. I've been watching them all day long while working, but I've actually watched more of the NBA basketball stuff right now too, though. So.
Oh yeah, and then
I'm a Steelers fan, so I'm just going to sit back and relax now.
Detroit win? Detroit win tonight?
I don't think I'll probably not because I think they were playing Boston back to back, so they're probably gonna be like a 29 losses.
My phone was blowing up. I think my friends took Detroit in the points.
I don't think Detroit's gonna win for a bit.
Jets have scored. It's 27-14 right now. Cleveland's up 20. Cleveland 27, Jets 14. Before halftime.
Yeah.
If you're betting on the game, there you go.
Detroit's up 3 on the Celtics with 5 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Are they really? That would
I
be
think they were like
nice.
19-point dogs. They said it was like the biggest point spread in the NBA in like 20 some years.
So they may beat the number one team in the league right now.
Well, at least they'll cover.
Well, yeah. Unless something catastrophic happens, be on bad beats with.
I can only get into the NBA until after NBA and college basketball until after the season, after the football.
See, I don't watch the NFL, so I don't watch the NFL. So for me, I'm already rolling in it.
NFL college football, once February ends,
yeah.
once their season ends, I'm into
That's
college
right.
basketball into the NBA. And by the way, the college basketball postseason is a lot better than the NBA postseason. Let me just
Oh, yeah.
Let me see here.
But in terms of style of game, NBA and college basketball, I'll lean towards the NBA. But the postseason, March Madness is 10 times better than the NBA.
March Madness is what pulls people in for
Yeah.
sure.
I'm a guy that's been to the Sweet 16 and went for 25 straight years.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump in. It wasn't much on the beer news stuff. I'm gonna
I
jump
turned
over
Sweet
to it
16
anyway.
once.
You turned Sweet 16. I see what you did there.
I did once.
So, talking about the beer news, Treehouse. Now the owners are the owners that are being blamed for it. If you don't know about the Treehouse, everybody know about the Treehouse? The whole thing going on about the owners pocketing money and going on luxurious
Oh.
type thing, spending stuff. One of the minority owners has basically lost a lawsuit against them.
Right.
They're denying allegations of any wrongdoing on the lawsuit and actually looking to, I guess, fight back or defend themselves, whatever it may be. So it'll be interesting to see what all happens there. But more of the stuff is breaking out from a win there on what's taking place with Treehouse. So there was another brewery out west that also was caught up in some type of scandal too. But I can't remember offhand who it was. But you know, you got investors, so you'll be watching where their money's being used at. So then down in New Orleans, Papua New Orleans Brewery unveils a new beer for designated drivers and sober folks. JT, you might know this brewery, Urban South Brewery. They're going to unveil a non-alcoholic version of their Holy Roller Hazy Juicy IPA. And this goes back to us talking earlier about some of the non-alcoholic beers and what we're seeing in the market, right? Breweries are jumping on board, realizing this untapped market they might be able to bring in for people that don't usually drink. So now they're getting involved. In Ohio, as we see more breweries around the country, we've had some that have unfortunately closing their doors. There were stories today about a couple more closing their doors out there. Great Lakes, great brewery up in Cleveland.
Yeah.
They're committed. They're actually expanding, which will be awesome for local beer production. So I always say if you get some Great Lakes beer, you should, because it's just one of the great breweries.
Everything they put out is like great.
Yeah.
I've never had a bad Great Lakes in 20 years.
Same here. They're just damn good.
Yeah.
They're very thorough in what they do, and yeah, it shows in the production of their beers. 2023 beer sales in the U.S. are expected to decline to the lowest amount in over 20 years. So there's different thoughts out there around this. One being, some people are pointing the finger at Anheuser-Busch, and they're saying the whole Marvin Delaney, I can't remember the name right now,
Yeah.
and the whole debacle they had there. But those people were going to other beers, most of them. So,
Yeah.
so if you look at the beer market, they're not all like get off the beer thing. But I think you're also seeing the rise of the younger generation going non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
You're seeing a rise. You're seeing a rise of seltzers. You're seeing a rise of ready-to-can cocktails. So you're seeing other things that are happening that are also shaking out there too. So we see some breweries are closing their door, but we're seeing other breweries take over spaces or grow and become larger as well. So it's almost like there's a lot of stuff happening out there. So it might not be as all that it looks like people are drinking as much of the beer. It's just it's a weird evolving type thing. So I think you have to look at various aspects of what's taking place.
Well, people are in a great position right now in the fact that markets are opening up that didn't even exist before. Like all of a
Right.
sudden you have these things that you could never get before, or if you could get them, they sucked. But
Yeah.
now they're like being refined, and you can get these cocktails in a can that are pretty good. You can get a
Yeah.
seltzer that doesn't taste like bubbly water, or you can get stuff that has flavor and gets the job done.
Also,
So
it
it's
all
everyone
depends.
gets their own thing.
Right.
Also all depends on distribution. If you can get it in your city, great. Some people, like for me in Georgia, whatever y'all can get, I don't get. Like on the rocks, I can get here. Other places, not so much. So
Mhm.
And
I
you
was
also-
on the rocks. I've never had on the rocks. I've seen it, but I've never had it. Is any decent?
yeah, it's very good. I've had the
Okay.
Hornitos margarita, and also I've had the old fashioned, which
Oh,
I
wait.
think they use
Yeah.
some sort of bourbon. I think whether it's from Sazerac or one of
Okay.
the distilleries in Kentucky.
Okay. No,
Right.
you know what? I was thinking of another one, but on the rocks we do get here. I was thinking of the other one. Was it
Right.
Tip Top or something? But yeah, the on
might
the
be
rocks, like on the rocks is pretty decent. The one I had.
Right. Yes.
And,
And I would say, yes, a lot of us rather have some bartender make us that special cocktail, old fashioned or gin martini, whatever it is, or a Manhattan. But if it is already prepared in that bottle, why not have
Yeah.
it?
If it's already prepared and it tastes good, people ain't gonna fight it. They like
That's
the
the other
oats.
part that it takes.
And some
Exactly.
people don't want to commit to spending
Exactly.
$30 or more for a full bottle of bourbon or gin when they only want to have one drink.
Right.
Yeah.
And they might only have one drink in a month. So,
Mhm.
I mean, I see it.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is that you also have more of the people that are finding ways to make their own beer. So they're not going out to beer sales. Like I just saw the thing over the last few weeks. Pinter has become a pretty popular item for people to get, where you can make your own beer within 7 days at home.
They reach out to you at all?
Trying to get that.
No, I just seen like ads and stuff for them everywhere.
I've seen ads and I've seen them reach out to like people in our field, Rod. So like, I didn't know if like they haven't reached out to me. I mean, I would definitely take it and try it, but just wanted to see if they reached out to you.
If they reach out, I'll let you know for sure.
Yeah.
But,
The first time I saw one of those was Don in Scotland had one.
Yeah.
Don's
yeah.
And my dad was watching Don's videos, and he started reaching out to that company over and over and over again, saying, "Why aren't you selling in the U.S.? Why aren't you selling in the U.S.? Why aren't you?" And he started doing that like crazy. And they kept writing him letters back saying that they were working on U.S. distribution, but they weren't there yet. So apparently they got there, and my dad's he's so excited. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get one."
Because I even saw the American Homebrewers Association. They were running like a promo deal where you could get like X amount off. But it's just like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to send me one? Yeah, I'll take it, but
yeah, they are pricey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like back in the day when New Air used to reach out when they sent me that beer fridge. It was pretty cool to try it out and talk about all that kind of stuff. So you get to the companies that will reach out, but I haven't had anybody reach out for a while actually on any of the stuff there. So if they do, I'd be interested to take a look just to see. Yeah. But
you got I got one thing of beer news. Are you done with yours? I don't want to step on your toes.
No, the only thing I got here. So it's kind of funny because you look at things that kind of go around in a circle or whatever, like full circle. Habitat for Humanity partnering with local breweries to raise money for new homes. And
that's cool. I would definitely kick in for that.
Yeah, so that's a cool thing. But the thing with it is you think back to the whole home brewing. If it wasn't for Jimmy Carter, who actually got it done to put it through, that ended up starting the home brewing and later led to craft brewing taking off, blah, blah, blah. And then after he left presidency, he did everything with Habitat for Humanity. Well, now Habitat for Humanity is going back working with breweries. It's just like a pretty cool little story.
Circle of life. Yeah,
circle of life as we end into going from 2023 to 2024. So just thought I would share that there.
I'm going to pull it up now because it's one thing that I like highlighted to talk about on my show next week. Did you see that Snoop is coming out with, it's a Death Row Records drink, and it's going to be a cannabis beer or a cannabis drink. So it's Snoop, it's like labeled with Snoop and Death Row Records, and it's Hill Beverage Company out of Texas, and they're coming out with these, and it's going to be a blood orange, a blue raspberry, a cherry limeade, and a peach and honey, and they're going to be like $5 for a 12-ounce can, or they have a 8-ounce can, which gives you a little bit more THC for $6 a can. And that's going to be coming out soon.
No, I did not see that. That's kind of interesting.
Dave, did you get to try the Mood THC beer that Ravinia came out with?
Well, I get tested at work. Now, I have not been at work since August with my back. So I'm in discussions with my doctor for a medical card.
Gotcha.
Which would, according to my union president, would exempt me from any positives I might have.
Nice.
I mean, according to the union people, as long as you're not like got a cloud of fucking smoke around you, you'll be okay. But I want to make sure I have all my I's dotted and T's crossed before that, situation occurs. So,
of course.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. But yeah, I saw that from Snoop. I read that over the weekend. So that was one thing I was going to talk about on next week's show, but I didn't know if you saw that, Ron. Yeah.
John, you're a little happy. Well, he took over Death Row because he had Death Row Wide, I think, too, that he did and stuff.
I really enjoyed the. I had the Cali Red from Snoop. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
Superb wine. And,
I'm gonna grab another beer. I'll be right back.
Sounds good to me.
I thought that was really good by Snoop, and I don't know anything else he's put out, but the Cali Red was really good. I really enjoy him and Martha Stewart doing those cooking shows. They're just their personalities work together. They play off each other very well.
They really do.
The yin and the yang.
Yep.
Cheers, Dan in the house. FLX.
By the way, guys, real quick, what do y'all menu for New Year's Eve? We're getting the new year. What are y'all doing?
Oh, we're going to dinner. We go out.
Okay.
My tap room closes at 8 p.m. and we're having a private party for staff, family, and friends.
Good.
So from 8 to midnight, we have a staff party. I have not assigned any of my employees to work that night, so it's going to be kind of a help yourself for the staff to like help their friends and family, but we're going to get through it. So yeah, but it'll be fun. We're going to have a nice time and relax and enjoy. So
it's like
I'm going to my brother's house with my sister-in-law, a charcuterie board. I'm breaking over there for New Year's Eve and just hang out. I think she still has a couple of friends. I think her sister will still be in town. We're going to hang out. I'll bring something to drink, like some wine. And I wanted to bring beer, but outside of that, some charcuterie board. And hang out. It's going to be stay there. It's going to be amateur hour that whole day. I'll get there around 5 o'clock in the afternoon and just hang out until midnight. Sleep there, and then around 6 or 7 in the morning, get the hell up out of there and go back to my place. So
there we go. Doing all right, Dan.
I'm trying to stay out of trouble. Stay out of trouble.
That's the hardest part.
Dan, look at your Instagram.
It is the New Year's Eve is the amateur hour. Remember, I'm 47. Remember when we were younger, I want to go out for New Year's Eve. I want to have a good time. Blah, 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 blah. Now you get to say, fuck it. I'll stay home. Let me eat some snacks. Hang out with my lady.
I don't think I've ever seen John in this bus before. This is a rivalry between Lit John versus Lit Craig when Craig is lit. That's pretty close competition. They both get a little that fire in the eye. I like it.
At this age, no. I'd rather stay home, enjoy my beverage at home, and not be out there on the street New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. Nothing good after midnight. Is that the song or something?
Without question, bro.
Yeah. Very little bit. Yeah, going back to the craft scene down there would be pretty cool, JT. ABBA was my first craft love back in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Abita. I thought it was ABBA. I was like, ABBA.
Abita, Louisiana.
Turbo Dog was the shit.
Abita.
Yeah.
Andy Gator. Stuff. Andy Gator.
Yeah,
Andy Gator.
They did a triple one
Strong Gator
as well. Todd checking back in. Yeah, we're still here. We're being highlighted with Lit John. We got Lit John tonight. So
Andy Gator, Strong Gator.
I feel like I need to get John a chair. I'm afraid you're going to fall over there. You all right?
Sit down, my man.
How you doing?
Yeah. Are you all right? You just. Are you all right, John? You're going back and forth. Let me sure you don't fall out. That's all. We're all seated. If you want to sit down, just saying.
I'm good. When he mentioned Abita,
Yeah.
First thing came to mind was the Andy Gator
Yeah.
and the Turbo Dog
I love Turbo Dog.
and the Amber Ale.
Not a fan of the Purple Haze. That was one of the beers.
Purple
And it
Haze
was
is
popular
good.
for a while, but
Yeah.
I did not like the Purple Haze.
You got the
wanna-
Barney, which is a combination of the Purple Haze and the Andy Gator.
Surprised Prince never went after them for Purple Haze.
Yeah.
Not Prince, but Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
Well, Jimi Hendrix could have, because Jimi Hendrix was dead by the time they had Purple Haze. But the foundation of Jimi Hendrix was the estate. With all the stupid trademark disputes we see. Yeah, they're getting their ass kicked 34-14. That's terrible. And where's Charles Barkley? That's terrible.
Terrible.
Turbo.
So what did you grab, Dave?
I just grabbed an old school Chicago Pale Ale Alley Time from Spiteful.
Mm,
Nice.
I like Spiteful.
Yeah.
So since we just got through Christmas, because I went through the beer news. Anyway, you got a beer news, Mal? Anything you wanted to share before I switch over?
You know, I am beer newsless at this.
Okay.
current
It's a
juncture.
short week. It's a short week. You know, two holidays.
All the holidays, man. I've been running around like a crazy person.
Does anyone remember what was your favorite Christmas gift that you got?
Ooh.
Do you have a favorite Christmas gift? Do you remember a Christmas gift that was a or one of your favorites that you got? Is there a story behind it or anything? Or
So my aunt got me it's a glass carafe that's meant to aerate for like whiskeys and red wines. And then it has a little aerator that sits on the top. So as you pour it in, it will aerate it as well. I'm looking forward to breaking that out and trying that on a few of my whiskeys and wines. And then Chew, he's given me a gift without giving me a gift. He said, free up 4 days sometime in February, and I will take you somewhere warm. And I don't know what that means. So it could be, like a sauna. It could be a place that has a hot tub. I have no idea.
Or you can just turn the heat up.
He might just turn the heat up and say, nope, we're off for 4 days.
Yeah, there you go.
No excuse sense of humor. That could happen.
Yeah.
I don't
Turn up the heat
actually-
and take a bath. There you go.
Yeah, I don't actually know what he has in mind right now, but he's made it so I've put myself where I have 4 days off and sometime in February for us to do something that means warm. So I'm like, okay, sure, why not? So we'll see.
I just remember my Evil Knievel.
God dang it. That's what I was going to say.
Kid.
I was going to say my Evil Knievel bike when I was a kid. Damn it,
Yeah.
Dave.
Nice.
This is why we get along so well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of the Evil Knievel. So,
Yeah.
one of the shows there, the Toys That Built America, which is part of the Food That Built America, the industry, all the History Channel stuff. And they talked about that a few weeks ago. Like they were doing different Christmas type toys, and they were doing about the Evil Knievel toy. That just even my wife, when she was a little girl as growing up, she had the Evil Knievel. It was just like that was one of the coolest toys I think I got.
Yeah.
It was so easy. Just put a little thing, you wind it up, and you would just have it jump everything you could possibly think of. So yeah.
Mal, you're too young for that. You don't.
You don't know about the Evil Knievel.
I had my Easy Bake Oven. Thank you very much. So that was a big deal for me. That little light bulb making my own little brownies. I was a happy little camper. I got a lot of books and art supplies all through my youth. That was kind of my thing, like crafting and reading. I was all about that, and music for musical instruments to practicing and lessons and music books. So that was kind of my thing. I didn't go in for like the brand toys as much. I knew what I wanted to do and just said, no, don't buy me those stupid things. I want this stuff. And they said, okay.
Well, since you were artistic, that's a couple of the other toys that were brought up on the show. Light Bright, Etch-a-Sketch.
I did have a Light Bright. I did have an Etch-a-Sketch.
I can never figure out Etch-a-Sketch how people could draw stuff on it and not have the lines connected.
Yeah.
I guess there was a way you could do it. Like you would do it, you draw one thing, and then you could. I never figured it out. So,
yeah.
So.
But my immediate family never bought me those things. It was always like extended family that was like, oh, she'll like this, because they didn't know exactly what I wanted, which is cool. It's fun, all good. But yeah, I definitely played with them to an extent. Mostly I just wanted like cross-stitch stuff and yarn, and like I liked weird stuff when I was a kid.
What about like Spirograph? Remember that?
Oh, Spirograph. I do.
I never had one of those, but I had a friend who did.
For it. Yeah, Spirograph. Yeah.
No. One of my friends had one, but I didn't get one of those as a gift. So,
All right.
Yeah.
Though it's funny because I almost have a Spirograph tattoo now.
Oh, okay.
All
Yeah.
right. There you go.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Spirograph was pretty cool.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's
was
funny
fun to play with.
today when I'm in for this procedure and the nurse is giving me the IV in my hand, and I'm just like, motherfucker. And she's like, I knew you were gonna swear. I'm like, why? She's like, every old guy that comes in here with tattoos swears when they get the IV. And she's like, I always tell them, you got all these tattoos and you're going to swear with one little needle in your hand? I'm like, yeah, because my tattoos are on fat. They're not right on my bone.
The tattoo needle only goes through 3 layers of skin.
Yeah.
That needle goes through 7 layers of skin. There's a
Yeah, and
big
it's like
difference
right
there.
on like my hand right here. I'm like, bitch. I mean, the yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I got tattoos trying to get over my needle fear.
Yeah.
I still have needle fear. Like getting the flu shot, someone has to hold me still
Yeah.
because I'm
Really?
trying to get away. Like I have ridiculous needle fear, and I thought, oh, I will get a tattoo that's going to help me. It's going to help me overcome this fear. I got the tattoos, and I'm still fucking terrified of needles.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
Yeah.
They still scare the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Needles don't bother me too. I mean, I go the flu shot, the COVID shot, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Go give blood or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, you got good veins." Like they don't even do anything. My veins are like already just there.
Yeah.
Just like go right in and do it. So.
Oh yeah, mine are ridiculously obvious. I've never had an issue with that. Nobody's ever like been digging around to draw blood or anything. I've never had any of those problems. But I'm so terrified of needles, and it's stupid. Just ridiculously stupid. I shouldn't be that scared of them.
Yeah.
I mean, the only time like a needle bothered one time, I had to get like stitches here and stuff. They had to put a needle in to numb it, and to sit there and watch the needle coming down. It's like you're in a 3D horror movie, right?
Yeah.
You're like in Saw at that point. You're trying to figure out how to get out the damn chair, right? So yeah. And they're like, "Oh, you gotta do it again." Like again, he did the one. Well, it's not. You're not numb enough yet. How do you know? You haven't started anything.
Yeah.
So,
when you go to the dentist and they have to do the Novocaine the hygienist has to hold my shoulders back so I don't escape because it's really bad. Like
Yeah.
Oh my god! I had an extraction and they had to do stitches, and she didn't warn me before she started doing stitches, and I started screaming bloody murder. She just pulled out a tooth. I didn't scream for that.
Yeah.
Well, did you do the Novocaine for the extraction, or did it knock you out for the extraction?
They didn't knock me out. No, I was aware, but it was all numb, right?
Yeah.
But I could tell the feel of a needle going through, and I started screaming bloody murder.
Mm-hmm.
And the extraction was done. The hard part was over.
Yeah.
It was the stitches that messed me up.
Just a word of advice: if you ever have to go and get knocked out, anesthesia or like that, everything, you might want to make sure you know what you might want to make sure you know what you're watching the night before or whatever before you go in, or like don't watch anything that's gonna maybe like have you cracking toe. Like when I got my wisdom teeth out, they had to knock me out for it. So my buddy took me in to go get it done. And I was coming out, you're coming out all crying, all kind of stuff. And he's like just cracking up. He's like, "You were hilarious in there." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "You came out and you were doing all Goodfellas lines. And the nurses were cracking up and laughing. And you're like doing De Niro and Joe Pesci and saying these things. And like, you just let me sit there and do that." And he's like, "Oh, you were killing it, man. You were killing it."
It's a good thing that was before TikTok. Yeah.
Right. So don't watch anything that might be risque to go in. I mean, I'm going to do a Pulp Fiction or something like that,
Yeah.
Anytime I've had the anesthesia, I didn't say funny things, but I got ridiculously ill. So I have to not eat for 24 hours before an anesthesia thing. Because I get very, very nauseated sick whenever they put me under for anything. So, but I don't say things. I'm too busy having other things leave my mouth than words. I can't talk during that.
Yeah, I had anesthesia today and good to go.
Apparently, I'm like John Goodman and our brother where I thought I got the gift of gab when it happens to me, and I just start spewing stuff out and stuff. So yeah.
It was weird, like this time for my back, which I couldn't see the needle because I'm laying on my stomach. They put me out, anesthesia, all this. When I had my rotator cuff done, they had me wide awake, and this brother came up with a needle this big. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm probably going to insult your mother. I'm going to insult you. Don't take it personal. And I'm just like, holy fuck, because he jammed this needle right into my shoulder. I'm like, you motherfucker. And but it was weird. Like, I could see this dude with the needle. Today, I'm on my stomach. I can't see shit. Just jam it in me. And oh no, we got to put you out.
Oh wow.
So my GP doctor, he's retired now, but he was old school. Looked a little like Santa Claus, but a lot less nonsense. He was kind of like, yeah, shut up. You're done. Stop doing that. You know, like he's very no nonsense, which I found kind of refreshing actually. Instead of them, you know, coddling, he was just like, nah, stop it, which was nice. But I was in for a checkup and he wanted me to get the flu shot. And I told him, nah, I'm not a fan of needles. I'll be okay. I'd rather have the flu. And he's like, yeah, you're getting a flu shot. And he just walked out.
Just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, what you say doesn't matter. I'm leaving. And he walked out. So the nurse came in with the needle and she gave me the flu shot. And like, it was a challenge for her to get me to hold still long enough for it to happen. Because I was all over that room. I was like, no, backing away. But she got the flu shot in me. And, you know, for the flu shot, it's a tiny needle, you know, it's itty bitty, you know. She left. He came back in about 5-10 minutes later. He's like, did you get your flu shot? And I said, that was horrible. That needle was the size of a tree trunk. She had to take down a wall to get it in here. Why did you do this to me? And he's like, yeah, you're getting it next year too. I'm like, oh.
Well, then you have the, now you get the flu shot and the COVID shot together. So
Yeah. If only there was a way to do anesthesia before that it didn't involve a needle, and I could do all the shots and not have to know that it has happened.
Yeah, just give me the mask and put me under.
Yeah, it has to be the mask, right?
Yeah.
Right.
No, they gave me mine in the hand.
It's still a needle.
Yeah.
They would need 3 people to hold down my hand because I'd be all over the place. I'm flapping around like a goose. It's just insane. Like.
I'm about to crack open a beer that is my most anticipated for tonight.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody!
That's right, because we're about to get into, I get up here,
there we go.
Maple and Whiskey Barrel Aged Stout. Done in Whistle Pig barrels, and this is one that comes in at 10% ABV, aged in Whistle Pig maple whiskey barrels. Oh, Shane missed a good episode tonight. I had 2 maple beers here.
I know. I was going to say this is a maple night tonight.
Yeah, Canada would have been all in a state of flux up there. 2023 limited release, and this actually comes from up north. Long Trail Brewing. If you ever get a chance to try Long Trail, highly recommend trying their beers because they are legit.
While you open that, I'm going to interrupt for 1 second. Detroit and Boston are in overtime, minute 46 left, and Boston's ahead by 4 points.
Of course they are, because Detroit's going to fold like a chair.
I'm going to tell Chew you said that.
It's the Pistons. He should know by now.
Yeah.
And it's like someone had a thing earlier. They were like, you look at like them losing like 28 games, 29 games in a row, but going back to last year, they're basically 4-51 or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're terrible.
I mean, you feel bad for that coach. Like a year and a half ago, he won Coach of the Year in Phoenix.
Yeah.
They fired him from Phoenix, and now he's in Detroit, like losing everything.
So just like real estate, location.
Yeah.
Oh. If there was a way to put a little Jimmy Dean sandwich into a beer, they may have found it. I'm getting all kinds of maple coming out of this thing.
Love me a good Jimmy
like,
Dean's.
like little maple pancake sausage sandwich. Oh yeah, those are good.
Oh, man.
It's like a McGriddle right there.
Yeah, it's a big griddle.
Right on it. Yeah. Which are all day out all day. You get those all day at McDonald's. So yeah.
I love the McGriddle. Oh.
Ooh. Oh, that is smooth. That's really smooth. 10% ABV. Yeah, I'm glad I got a 4-pack of these because these are maple. It's got a little bit of a smokiness in the background. Nice lingering duration of the flavor. It's so smooth it almost is like, I mean, it's velvety smooth, but it's like you wouldn't drink it, almost like a sipping type whiskey or something. Just also subtle, a little bit of char like in there. Oh my God. I'm going to go get some Whistle Pig whiskey just see what that tastes like if they're using that for barreling. And it hits like right in the throat area too, where it's just.
You gotta make me throw a BA in. You gotta make me throw a BA in the freezer for a half hour.
Yeah, this baby is on point. My goodness, as they say in the college basketball games, he made that from downtown. My goodness. Ooh. Yeah. This is a fine damn pick. If you guys get a chance to get this 2023 limited release, do it. If you get Long Trail beers, do it. Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm really digging this one here. Don't do anything else. No, nothing else really noted on here. But Long Trail, I think they're out of Vermont. Just so many good beers. I don't know if Vanessa's still here, but Vanessa, I know you were looking for maple stuff earlier. This is one to try to get since you're up in Connecticut. But yeah, I'm happy. If you're happy, you know, clap your hands. If you're happy, you know, clap your hands. If you're happy, you know, and you really want to show it. If you're happy, you know, clap your hands. Yeah, get my Stone Cold on that one.
You know, that's not how I learned that song, though.
How did you learn that song?
That was the Stone Cold remix.
You know, drink a beer.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Stone Cold song.
Oh, no, not that one.
Hey, just don't be starting any forest fires out there.
I know a place that's peaceful and quiet. A place where animals play. It's called the forest. But every year we start forest fires. A careless match or cigarette and poof, fire. So the next time you're in the forest, be extra careful, okay?
If you knew it was me, would you have listened?
Damn, that's the hottest PSA I've ever heard in my life. We need to bring back some of those 70s commercials. I don't know if I need to be excited or watch out for fires. I'm just saying.
Can't be messing around with those forest fires.
Right? Ron just had a beer gasm night. Yeah. This beer, it's pretty solid. I want to do some more long trail. I don't know if I get a ton of long trail down here, but I get it from here and there. And this one I got in Jersey, but I get some in Baltimore. So get this. So I got back and I got a letter today. And I don't think you guys, if you ever come to the East Coast, like you see like the Easy Pass stuff they have over here.
Yeah.
So went through Delaware last December to go to New Jersey. I never got anything back. Like they're supposed to mail it to you if you got a thing or whatever. So I get a letter today from this like collection thing. It's like I open it up, like, what the hell is this? I look over, it's like a fine from Easy Pass, right? $4. They send me a bill for $96. They jack on all these things. So if you don't pay your Easy Pass, they jack on like ambulance care, they jack on domestic violence, they jack on all these different things for them trying to rack it up. So you're taking a bill for $4 to make it 96. So I called Delaware and I'm like, yo, what is up with this? Why do I have this? You guys never sent me anything. And they're checking the address. I'm like, well, did you put the apartment number on it? Because I'm in a high rise. And I'm like, you don't get the right apartment number. They just send stuff back. Oh, no, we just had what we pulled from DMV. So I never got anything on the letters the first time or second time. I mean, they sent it right to the collection agency or whatever. So they're like, well, if you call them, they can usually look to try to cut it down because we can't do anything over here or anything. And I called the collection people, and they're like, well, if you send a dispute letter, we can go back to them and they can look to try to reduce it or whatever, let them know what happened and blah, blah, blah. Because I had Easy Pass at the time when it happened. I'm like, I want to say, from your word, Dave, what do you call them?
Fucking jagoffs.
These jagoffs, because I was going to say jabroni for a second, the jagoffs that Delaware is like, you're going to, like, if people like miss a thing for $4 to $96, you're trying to kill people with this kind of stuff. That's just crazy.
Awful.
Yeah,
So
I'll give you 5 and we'll call it even.
Right.
Yeah.
So then I looked at my Maryland to check it. Well, Maryland had something for me back in August that I wasn't aware of. So I call over to them and they're like, oh no, we can go ahead because we'll go ahead and apply it now. We'll take the fine. So they were very easy to work with on theirs. These jackals in Delaware, they just go right to the collection agency. So I don't know what you're doing over there. I know you're Biden's home state or whatever, but you guys are jagoffs. I'm just saying because Dave's here. You guys are jagoffs for doing the shit that you're doing right here. Because you're screwing some people that aren't going to be able to fight back against it. So
Yeah.
So Department of Transportation in Delaware, you're jagoffs. I just want to get better for Dave. But that was something to get used to. You come back to the East Coast dealing with the Easy Pass type stuff, you know. And Maryland is the only state that's like, okay, we just go ahead and send you a thing online or whatever. You just put a credit card out there or whatever like that. Like they just do it that way. New Jersey, Delaware, it's like cash. They went cash. Like, what is it? The mom still running these toll booths or what? Like, why am I still dropping cash everywhere? Like,
I mean, for a while, like here, they had a thing like you didn't need the transponder in your car if you just went online and plugged in a plate.
That's what we do. Plate. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, fine. Like I told my mother, don't worry about it. I'll plug in your plate and then just go. And she's like, oh, let me send you some. I'm like, Mom, just go. For what my mother goes on the expressway, I don't care. Just go. They must have changed it and I didn't know. I got like a bill and the same thing. They tacked on all these fees. And I'm like, no. So I called and said, my mother, her plate, oh yeah, we see this, and stuff. What if we just like charge your account $2.25 or something like ridiculously low number? I'm like, yeah, that would be nice. So, and it was done with. But I'm like, Mom, you're going to have to get your own transponder.
Yeah. So this one from...
Ours is called the iPass.
Yeah.
But it works the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was $4 for the toll, right? Then they tried to put $25 for an admin fee. $15 for voluntary ambulance. Like, I didn't call an ambulance. Why would I pay a $15? Then they put $15 for violent crimes. What the hell? Where did that come from? Then they put 20 for civil penalty. What am I being penalized on? Like, and then they throw on $12.50 for civil penalty surcharge or something. I'm like, what the hell is all this stuff showing up from a $4 thing? So from $4 to $96. you guys are smoking some terrible weed. Yeah. Yeah. So my fight begins with Delaware on that one.
Yeah.
But it was just like, you guys are crazy. But
Fight the power.
the
Fight
society we live in, it's like fucking easy pad. It ain't nothing easy about that. Ain't nothing easy at all about how to get that all fixed, you know. Gonna send to the collection thing. And I'm like, the thing is, like you guys, I didn't get a letter from you guys, but all of a sudden collection people could find me, so it couldn't have been that hard, you know.
Yeah, messing up your credit score.
Yeah. So but it was just like, yeah, let me get this taken care of. So I called. I gotta send them a letter. Like, oh, you can fax or mail us a letter here. Like, you guys don't do email? And they're like, oh, well, for security type reasons, they prefer to get a fax or like so it would be a piece of paper laying around the office rather than on the email because that's more secure.
That's the same thing with like with my job and going through all this shit on my back. Well, you got to fax it in. I'm like, fax? The fuck? It's 2023, almost 2024. Who has a fucking fax machine?
Nobody should anymore.
Yeah. So I got to download this app and like pay $2-3 to send you a fax when I could have just emailed you a PDF.
Right.
So my previous job, I was an office manager for a truck and trailer repair facility.
Mm-hmm.
And I had people get angry at us for not having fax. And I'm like, no, we don't have fax. Why would we have fax? Fax is not a thing anymore. And
It's
it was
obsolete,
sometimes it was vendors, sometimes it was the truckers or whatever. They're like, oh, I need to fax this over to like headquarters or something. I'm like, well, I don't have a fax. And they're like, how do you not have a fax? I'm like, because it's, not the 1990s. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
do you have a dial-up? Because I don't.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have a fax, because I don't have a dial-up either.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
Do it.
Don't you do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
You asked me about a fax machine? A fax machine. We're talking about faxes. Well, let's talk about dial-up.
Don't do it.
I got the fax right here. Yeah, why don't I get you over my MySpace page too while we're at it?
Yeah.
You owe me a turnaround now.
Yeah. Well, we're done with this ride. I'm going to send you a message on ICQ.
Yeah, right. Hit me up on my bulletin board.
Yeah.
Rod, you owe me. You owe me a turnaround right now.
Do I? Do I really?
You do. You made me listen to the dial-up again.
Turn around, everything you'll be good together with turn around, every now and turn around.
I feel like that should have been a scene in Hangover somewhere.
Yeah.
Thank you
Not
so
somewhere,
much.
but somewhere in Hangover that should have been a part.
Bonnie Tyler's still making money off that record.
Yeah, for real.
God bless her.
Almost as good a deal as Bobby Bonilla and the Mets.
Yeah.
Just give her my check.
Rod, did you get to look at the literal video of that song, the Total Eclipse of the Heart? I sent you the link last week or the week before.
The actual video?
No, the literal video. It's called
No.
Videos. So like all the stuff that happened, because that music video was weird as heck. Like she was a school teacher at a boys' school that was like a castle, and it was really.
You sent it to me. You sent it to me on Instagram.
I sent you the link in the private chat on StreamYard.
Oh no, you still got it there?
I can pull it up again.
Okay.
But yeah, you definitely need to check out. It's called Literal Video Total Eclipse. I mean, it's pretty easy to find on YouTube, but hilariously funny because it's like instead of saying the words to the song, they're explaining what's happening in the video. So like it says when she's running down a hallway, it says when a curtain blows, it says something child with headlights because one of the kids turns around and has big glowy eyeballs and shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's very literal to what's happening in the video, and it's hilariously funny. And if you get a chance, I highly recommend checking it out. Because
Okay.
actually, the lady who was singing did a really nice job, sounded very similar, but she's saying all these funny things instead of the actual words. So, highly recommend it.
Cheers
I
to
will
Big
hunt
Daddy.
down that.
Yeah, give me the link on there. Cheers to Big Daddy. We got Chicago all over the place tonight, so that's awesome.
Oh, the Celtics. What? Wait, Celtics? Yeah, no, Celtics. The
Celtics beat Detroit.
128 to 122.
Yeah, maybe they're gonna lose to Detroit. They're like, wait a minute, we're the top team in the league. How are we in overtime anyway against these guys? Bring on the sweet sounds of a better time, AOL Messenger. What if people try to take a photo with their phone? They look like mental patients. Oh, AOL. Good old AOL days back in the day. Oh, did I not remind you guys where you're actually at tonight?
No champagne or girly drinks, we drink beer and beer and beer. No champagne or girly drinks, we drink beer and beer.
Yeah, I like that one. I don't know who did it. I just found it somewhere. I can't remember where I found that one at, but that was pretty good. But it's only 10:16, so we still got time to keep the party going.
He found all of his buttons now, and he's playing all
No.
the things.
Got the StreamYard going.
Yeah. Did you get a barrel aged one?
No, it's still chilling. I'm grabbing one. A friend of mine sent me a bunch of stuff from Birmingham. So I'm
Oh.
trying one of the IPAs from them.
Nice.
Oh, nice. You got Birmingham, you got Nashville, you got a bunch of stuff happening.
Yeah,
I put that link in the private chat for you, Rod.
I got it here. I'm going to save it to my favorite to watch it.
it's from Uproot. They are in Birmingham, Alabama. This is their IPA, 7%. Let's check it out. Smells good. I mean, it's got a little haziness there.
I like your cup.
It's the Hot Butcher Cup.
I know
There you
it's
go.
I had to
cute.
bust that out for Rajay.
Yeah.
That's
I'll
good.
put you represent.
That's good. I think I'm gonna have like a Birmingham show either at the end of January, early February. Where I've
Nice.
got a couple of people from Birmingham coming on. I want to talk to my buddy that sent these over. Ashley, who's the Black Beer Fairy. She said she'd come
Oh,
on.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I want to talk to like a couple people from Birmingham and like explore that market because I don't think a lot of people think of Alabama when they think of craft beer. But fuck, this is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the guitars out. Ding, 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 ding.
I'm thinking of like Joe Pesci from My Cousin Vinny. Alabama. Yeah. No, that's really good. The label art is like really cool.
Very cool out there.
Uproot in Birmingham. No,
That's pretty good.
that's a good IPA right there.
There you go.
Nice.
Big Daddy, did you hear about the Indiana dude that ran off the road and was under a bridge for 6 days? His last name was Ren. Any relation to Todd, who was him? I know. Todd, unfortunately, they had to put down one of their dogs. So Todd and Shannon are kind of mourning over that tonight.
Dude,
Yeah.
don't be talking about Bridges, man. Me and Bridges don't get along.
But did you hear about this guy though? Like he was under
Here,
the
Josh.
No,
he survived
I have
drinking
the
survived
worst.
rainwater, like until
Oh,
someone
no.
Wait a minute. This was a real guy that did
This
this?
was real.
I would
Yeah.
have fucking slit my wrist right there.
In Indiana.
I can't drive over a bridge.
So-
I can't drive under a bridge. My anxiety, it goes through the roof.
Maybe
Me
he
and
was a red.
Bridges just don't get along.
Maybe he was a Red Hot Chili Peppers fan.
Yeah, and I never liked them for that reason.
He ran off the bridge and went under the bridge, so he wasn't visible from the road. And when he went off the bridge, it was the 20th of December. And he just got found, I think, yesterday or this morning. I can't remember which.
Wait a minute. Was he in a car under the bridge?
He was in a truck, but he got stuck under the bridge and he was pinned inside the truck. And he couldn't get out. So he was surviving off rainwater for 6 days before someone finally found him. And it was two guys who were going under the bridge to fish. They were going down to fish under because there's a creek there, you know. He didn't go into the creek. He just
a creek?
He smashed up under the bridge and was stuck. But they did have to amputate the left leg at the shin because that's what was pinning him. Like he was pinned by the leg.
No way to get him out there. Yeah.
Like it took 3 hours to extract him from the car once they found him.
Oh no.
Like it was really bad. This poor guy, like I can't imagine being trapped in a car, hearing the cars go overhead and knowing no one knows you're there. He was apparently supposed to meet up with friends in a couple days at this other place that he was driving to. So everyone knew he was coming, but not exactly sure when. He didn't tell anybody when he was leaving. So it was like nobody knew what happened to him for several days.
They know what the
I
cause
have
was.
enough anxiety, Mel. You had to bring up that story.
Oh man. Well, just make sure. So every time I'm leaving work, I text Chew and let him know I'm driving home now. Or, you know, if I'm driving to my dad's, I let somebody know where I'm going at what time. So if they don't hear from me, but I've always done that, and apparently this guy didn't. And they're using it as a cautionary tale to make sure that people are letting people know where they're supposed to be. So nobody disappears for 6 days and nobody notices. So yeah, it's kind of scary though. I just read the story this morning and I was like, holy crap, this poor guy.
Wow.
But he had lots of broken bones, lacerations, the whole works. But
it was like a high bridge or something? Or?
It was one of those overpasses, but it had the creek under.
I'm going to put this on mute for a while. Will you guys finish?
I'm not trying to chase you away. I'm just that was.
Oh, look at the time. Fuck, is it? Yeah.
I'll stop.
All right.
Oh my goodness!
But I'm glad he's alive.
Yeah, that's a heck of a story there. I mean, I'm just trying to picture it in my mind what may have happened there, but you know, if he got a kid, if he hit the guard, if he fell asleep, if he was texting, if he was inebriated, I mean, all these different things that could have happened for him.
Well, when I read the article, they hadn't pinned down why. They're assuming that he fell asleep at the wheel and went off road and then turned the wheel really sharply and got stuck under there. Yeah. But they think he fell asleep because he didn't go into the creek, you know, like it would have made sense from how he was driving that he should have gone into the creek, but somehow he turned himself around after the ditch. So
and he was in a truck?
Yeah, he was in a truck.
Pickup
truck? Yeah.
So you get these like two local yokels fishing. Oh, I think I got a big one here.
Pulls out a Toyota truck.
Yeah.
No, it was like 5 or 6 in the morning, and they were going under that bridge to walk to the creek where the pool was, where they could fish, like the place that they would fish often. But this time they noticed something shiny under the bridge, and they like walked closer and realized it was a whole freaking car, and they're like, Jesus Christ! And there's a person in it. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got him help, but actually,
I would have stole his wallet and kept walking. Fuck.
The story is the movie of the week. JT said I saw that. That's apparently what the guy said when they were rescuing him. He was like, you know, if this ain't a movie, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy
was like all loopy and messed up from being stuck there, you know. But he was like, it's going to be a movie, right? To the fireman.
They made a movie about the guy that fell into the thing when he was hiking there to cut his arm off because he was
the one with the arm. Yeah.
It's like, he said, no, the Big Mac and fries. Like, no, I'm good. Just give me a Big Mac and fries. Like,
Well, I mean, 6 days, I'd be freaking hungry as hell. And,
supersize me.
Like, not being able to think about anything but food and help. Like, you know, like, oh, God, that's scary. I mean, some people are scared of enclosed spaces. Some people are scared of heights. I mean, the idea of being trapped.
You have to wonder if this was.
Scares the hell out of me.
as he heard noises, you have to wonder if this was running through his head.
Everything will be good together when we turn around. Turn around.
And just to say, for any of y'all listening and watching, if y'all laughed at that joke, yeah, you're going to hell with me, by the way. I'm just saying. Just saying.
You know, nobody said his radio was still working. He might have had the radio at least for a day or so until the battery died.
Yeah. That had to be a freaky feeling from though. But
Yeah, what was that story? It's like it might be an old wives' tale at this point, but do you remember it was like 30, 40 years ago? Somebody was like trapped in, it might have been in like England or something, and like the same like Hall & Oates or Wham song was stuck on repeat, and like the person just like went fucking crazy.
Carol's Whisper, I think it might have been Carol's Whisper that was on. I think it was talking about. Yeah.
It was something like one of those like mid 80s songs that just like drove the person crazy because they were stuck for 3 days trapped in a car and kept hearing like Man-Eater or something like that.
Oh God. Yeah, that sounds painful.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back. I gotta get a beer.
Yeah, that would not be a great thing.
No. I mean, if it was like Sarah Smile or something, all right, that's a good song. But Man-Eater, no, they got better songs than that.
How many times could you hear that before you would drive you mad, though? You know. Which I was going to ask a song about MTV video, but wait till Mal comes back. But I also because I was going to ask you because I know where you work at, and what the hell is going on? I've seen those reports come on the news. People are bringing in loaded guns.
That's all the time. People are just stupid enough.
No, I didn't know what was bag.
They're stupid or they're just ignorant, thinking, "Oh, I've got a card where I could bring." No, you can't.
Yeah.
And it's not the airline saying that's between you and TSA.
Yeah, TSA is like confiscating people, like going through.
And like those people will come up to me, and I'm like, "Hey, you can't blame the airline for this. Yeah. Airlines can be blamed for a lot of shit, but you're dumb enough to bring a fucking loaded 45 thinking you could bring that through the metal detectors because you got a FOID card. Dude, come on." That's between you and fucking TSA. Get out of here.
I saw the story with all them confiscating all these different guns that are taking place, and it's just like, how do people not realize what the rules are at the airports now? Like, you got to do a lockbox, you got to have like not loaded, all this kind of stuff, and it's just like,
I've had people because they got to like go through security to pick up like an unaccompanied minor, and they don't realize it, and they're like, "Oh shit, can you hold on to this for me?" And I'm like, "Dude, I'm going to be here till 7. I don't see it. If you put it underneath my desk, I don't see it. I know nothing. Do what the fuck you got to do." But I've had people coming to me with like these big ass knives. Like, what the fuck are you carrying around? Just give me the fucking knife.
Crocodile Dundee, what the hell?
Everything else, I see nothing. Just put it underneath here, and I'm here till 7. Just be back here by 7.
The lack of knowledge by some people just cracks me up. What you got, Mal?
This is from Liquid Love Brewing Company, and it is called Patio Napper Choco Mex. So their Patio Napper was their bourbon barrel-aged stout. Now they've added Mexican chocolate to it and
big fan.
Aged it even more, and it is a 14%.
Ooh,
so Mexican chocolate imperial stout, 14% from Liquid Love Brewing Company.
Liquid Love's a great brewery.
Well, Chew canned this himself, so.
All right. Chew, hook me up. I'll give you the address.
Dude, he's the GM over there.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to talk to Chew.
I know. Yeah. Chew's the GM at Liquid Love, and I'm the GM at Rubinia. So
there you go.
We keep busy. But I have already had this, and it is to freaking die for. Like, the Mexican chocolate sits so nice in there. It tastes like heaven in a cup, and it's thick and just heady and beautiful and wonderful, and I love it.
I need to talk to Chew because my wife is Mexican American and she loves Mexican chocolate anything, but she's not watching, so I could keep those for myself.
There
Well,
you go.
it tastes like the Aztec chocolate where you have like the chili, so you have a little bit of spice, you have a
All
little
right, cool.
you have a little bit of the chocolate. Like, it's so beautiful. This one was so well done, and the head literally burned off immediately. Like,
Yeah.
it can't hold on at all.
But of
It's
course,
really
Ruby, if you are watching in the shadows, I could use
She's
you.
not. She don't watch my channel. She ain't watching yours. Or she better not if she doesn't watch mine.
Carol's list for Quentin Tarantino starts, right? And yeah, I think he's done with movies now. I think too. There's an endless
Is he?
cast. I thought he was retired after the last movie he did. They say that, but probably builds more fanfare for later.
He's retiring because he doesn't think another good idea comes along.
Yeah.
But if another one comes along, he's not retired anymore.
He still wants to do a Star Trek with, like Christopher Pine and Zachary Quinto and stuff. So, I mean, I'd love to see that.
Well, he
I'm
was
a big
supposed to do another Kill Bill too, with the Vivica Fox daughter growing up to come back after Uma Thurman.
I loved those movies so freaking much. It's so stupid, but I loved them. It was like
They must have some nice feet because
one more. Yeah.
Quentin loves some feet, so
oh yeah.
Vivica must have some nice toes. Yeah.
But if you look at a guy and you said, I wonder if he has a foot fetish, I feel like Quentin Tarantino would be a picture you would see.
Yeah.
Like, I could see him having a foot fetish type thing. He'd be kind of that guy going back to Dusk Till Dawn. Like, he kind of has that look of a guy that'd be into foot fetishes.
Oh yeah, he'll suck a toe. Yeah.
Uma Thurman did not have the prettiest feet, but I'm willing to bet Vivica Fox does. So
yeah.
Yeah. Of course, now she's doing the.
I'm gonna have to go check her out on Wicca Feet right now.
Oh goodness.
She does the car commercials with Ice-T now for the car insurance. What is that? The what is the name of that company? They're doing a car thing.
I can't remember.
Don't let your car break down. Get this
It's
car
there.
thing. Oh shoot! This car is something.
Sorry, I'm caught up in this beer.
Speaking of Ice-T, I think he's like the longest actor that's actually been on Car Shield, is what it is.
That was.
I think he's the longest. I think he's the longest actor now that's been on Law and Order. Like he's been in the longest time now.
Yeah.
Like 25 years like that. Like.
Yeah, I
crazy.
believe that.
Yeah.
He has been there a long time.
Did you ever think, like 30 years ago, whatever it was, 31 years ago, when he did like the body count stuff?
Yeah.
You never would have thought Ice-T would be like mainstream, like
Well,
he
he's
is.
like 6 a.m. and
Yeah.
New Jack City, New Jack Hustler, and all that kind of
Pop
stuff.
Killer,
and Gangster.
all of that. Like you never would have thought Ice-T would be mainstream.
Yeah.
But you also never would have thought that Snoop would be hanging out with what's her face?
Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart. Yeah.
You wouldn't
Well,
have
that's,
thought
only,
that
that's,
either.
only because she went to prison and got a record now. So
I know.
Yeah, but like,
Which is funny. He doesn't have a record. She does.
Right.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I always thought, and I'm the wrong demographic, but I always thought Ice-T was more hardcore than Snoop. So
He was. I mean, he was technically probably the second gangster rapper after Schoolie D was doing it in Pennsylvania and Philly, because he actually made his song 6 a.m. off of what Schoolie D had done for PSK from back in the day. So he was like kind of on the West Coast. He came from he was living in the East for a bit, but he brought that to the West Coast and kind of started that before NWA and everybody else started doing their stuff. But yeah, you would have never thought back then that, and he's talked about that on interviews, like to think he'd be playing a cop on the TV shows and stuff too. So yeah, but you grow over a period of time, and who thought Ice Cube would be doing family movies, right? So,
yeah. I mean, look, like Queen Latifah had the Kennedy Center honors last night.
Yeah. It's the ever-changing world, but I mean that's artistic freedom. You know,
Yeah, that's good.
I have a degree in music education. I was classically trained in opera for 4 years by a Wagnerian tenor, and I'm opening a brewery in 2028. So
Yeah.
who knows where you're going, right?
Ooh, what if you do opera night at the brewery once a week or something? Once a quarter?
Don't,
I would love
Roger.
it. I would love
Don't
it.
start. Don't get them fucking sued again. Shit.
You can do the opera
I would
episode,
enjoy it,
you know?
but most folks aren't so into the opera scene.
Yeah.
I would. It would be such a niche market that I wouldn't make money off of that.
You have to make it like a little opera play, like "Bring Me a Beer" and have the opera songs around the beer or something. Yeah, you can do some stuff and have fun with it, you know.
I suppose my opera voice is pretty damn rusty by this point, though. I'm a few years out from that. 17 years since I was a classically trained opera singer. So,
Rod, you and I could like do like background harmonies. We get that baritone.
Right.
Bring me a beer, oh, bring me a beer. Oh.
See?
We can do that. We're on it.
You're buying into the concept. See what
Yeah.
I mean? So it could be something up there.
We'll just be like the Pips, me and
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
ooh,
Dovetail
Dave Tail.
Dovetail
Dave Tail.
Viennas.
Dave Tail Vienna. It's
Oh,
your
Dave
beer.
Tail.
Dave Tail.
All right. My man JT. I'll bring the dog over.
Oh, go to Woodman Saturday, right by Liquid Love. Can I score some of those beers you're drinking? If I go there, is it open?
Big
Is it
Daddy,
open
yes.
Saturday?
Yes,
There you go.
Saturday they are open from 2 to 10, I think. So yeah, it's right behind the Woodmans. You just go to the next street over. It's Bush Parkway, and they're in a little strip mall, like the second or third strip mall on the right hand side. But you gotta go check out Liquid Love, and Chew will be working on Saturday, so you can actually hang out with Chew if you're there. So that's fun.
Chew, can I bring the
I will also
dog?
be working, so I can't be there. But yeah,
Yeah.
would you ask?
Chew, can I bring the dog Saturday?
Oh, yes, for sure. It is
Right.
a dog-friendly brewery. They don't have food, but you can order in food from elsewhere or bring your
Right.
own. So yeah, it is super dog-friendly. And actually, for my dad for Christmas, he baked dog treats from the spent grain from the beers at Liquid Love and gave them to my dad's dog for Christmas. It was kind of cute. So yeah, he has
Boy,
treats and toys for the puppies.
Moira Rose is going to be all over town that weekend. This weekend coming up. Yeah.
But yeah,
I
you
would've
should
thought
stop in and
by
meet too.
weekend
It'll be fun.
Well, depending on the state. I mean, there's only 20 states where it's legalized now. Maryland's one of them, but you guys got there in Illinois. So,
Yep.
although with all the edibles, I feel like the edibles and the gummies are probably more than the weed. Because you don't worry about smelling like smoke. You can just get the edibles or something.
Yeah, my wife's out of town, so I'm not really cooking all that much. I ordered, I don't want to name the restaurant because it wasn't on them. It was on the delivery company. But I go down to pick it up and I'm like, holy fuck, dude. My God. Roll the window down or something when you're driving.
Oh man.
What was that
Yeah.
movie back in the day with Brandon Fraser was in it? It was like in a pizza place. They were always getting stoned.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was. Like one of those 90s flicks back in the day, like after Fast Times at Ridgemont High type thing, but it was something pizza.
Yeah.
That kind of thing makes me think of that kind of place.
I mean, I opened the door to pick this up and I'm like, oh,
Well, it's legal here in Maryland. I feel like when I go in the elevator some days, I'm getting a contact buzz just riding the elevator.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But, it was going to happen at some point. I thought,
all right, the barrel age is ready. I'll be back.
All right.
Uh-oh.
I gotta grab something here at some point. I don't know if I'm gonna get a beer or a shot of whiskey. Haven't decided yet. I really like this one though.
If you can stumble upon a 14%er, you don't need the whiskey.
Oh, I've got 18% there. I want the 18% tonight though. Oh, I gotta work in the morning, but I'm tempted to try it just to see what it tastes like. Yeah, let me get a glass for that. If you guys can hold it down while I go get the big boy.
I'm pretty sure we can hold it down while you grab yourself a beer.
It's time for me to go get the big boy. Yeah. Big boy is coming. You better watch out.
Boom
shakalaka!
I'll be back in a second.
I would love to see someone scramble all his buttons
Yeah.
so he couldn't find the right one.
Mrs. Rajay, are you listening?
Yes, please.
Mess
do
with his
so.
Stream Deck.
Yeah. Skip around all those buttons and really
Yeah.
just throw them off. It'll be hilarious. Close to April Fools. Go for the April
Yeah.
Fools joke where you swap
Put
around
some
all those
like
buttons. It'll be amazing.
Partridge Family, some monkeys
I
and
know,
stuff
right?
on his like Stream Deck. Yes.
Or like the cow says moo. Moo. and,
Yes.
Like the little spinny thing, but have that as all of his buttons.
Or what does the fox say?
Oh yeah. So fun story about that. My best friend Karen lives in Bloomington, and she moved into this new apartment. And one day, when she was coming out into the parking lot, she saw a mother cat with 3 little kittens following. And she snapped a photo and posted. And she was like, "I saw a mother and her kittens the other day at my apartment." 2 days later, she posts another picture, and it's a fox walking in the same spot that the mother cat and the kittens were walking 2 days earlier. And she said, "Ooh, and I saw a fox." And I commented on her picture of the fox. And she had said, "Oh, it's a fox. I hope the mom cat and her kittens are okay." And my response was, "What does the fox say? Oh, no, 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 no." Yeah, she didn't find it as funny as I did.
Yeah.
And I'm a cat lover, but yeah, I thought it was great. It needed to happen.
Yeah, you have to.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
All right.
I think that was very funny for that one. She was mad at me.
What did you get, Dave?
I picked up the Cafe Deeth from Revolution.
Ooh, very nice.
So this is a 14.8%er
Ooh,
with dark matter coffee.
nice.
Ooh.
Dark matter coffee is good too.
Yeah. This will be my last one because my back is super tight right now, but wanted to make sure I joined you folks.
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure the
definitely
14% is the end of the
appreciate it.
line for me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks good. Good foam. Good. Nice. Khaki pants, colored foam. Fuck yeah. I mean, it's just all the bourbon notes. You get the coffee in there. I mean, it just smells phenomenal. Yeah, that's good.
Well, right now, we're about to go big time.
And his name is John C. In the WWE Super Smash!
Yeah. Because y'all didn't see this one coming tonight. Double Dog 18 Triple IPA from Flying Dog Brewing. This thing is so potent, apparently, I can't even get it in Maryland. And they brew in Maryland. I had to get this in Jersey. 18% India Pale Ale. Ooh, it's going to be naughty, naughty, naughty. I don't think I had 18% IPA before.
I don't know that I have either.
I mean, I'm usually like I'll mess around with Avery and I'll get their stuff 17,
Yeah.
but that's like the rump can.
What's
or
a
some shit like
what's
that,
a
but,
DFH 120?
Yeah. Here we
I don't
go.
think it's that high.
No, 120 is like maybe 15 something, 17 maybe.
Right.
This is definitely higher than that. Crack it open. Get some nice hopper over there. Hopefully tomorrow's not a big
It's a great color.
Yeah. Dogfish head coming through. Great clarity. Great looking beer. Go down the spinner. Spin around. Turn the bottle from side to side and spin around.
Dude,
I can't wait till you see that literal
Look at
video.
that bubble action.
I need to get me a spinner.
It's a nucleated glass, but I like that bubble action. Nice head.
That's probably why my follower count is down, because I don't have a spinner.
You gotta get a spinner.
I got a
Yeah.
lazy Susan, but I have to spin it myself.
Yeah. I'm too lazy for that. Yeah.
See, here's a spinner. I'm just Vanna White standing next to it right now. There you go. That's the main star of the show, the spinner.
Yeah, I need to get me a spinner.
Vanna, I'd love to know where you got that dress. Tell me all about it. No, tell me all about your lovely dress today.
This has like it's weird. It's got like a spearmint type feel in the nose.
Hmm?
Minty, like a spearmint type feel.
Huh.
But you have the hot pininess as well.
Hmm.
More spearmint than any type of fruitiness, really.
Interesting.
Maybe a little,
Like
maybe a little
natural
maybe
spearmint or like Wrigley spearmint?
kind of like a Wrigley spearmint, but you also have some peppermint as well. It's interesting. Maybe a little wintergreen in there. Different. Gotta get good at swallowing it. You gotta check it out.
Yeah.
Syrupy texture. Definitely got some weight to it. Put your weight on it.
Yeah.
Man, that's just on the tongue. Much like the 120, it's definitely overpowered. You feel a little bit of the heat in the chest, but not overly too bad, I guess. I mean, you can definitely tell you want to take your time with it. It's kind of smooth going down. It's like almost like a high-powered like malt liquor type thing or something. It's weird.
Huh.
I mean, that's like one of the most beautiful color beers I've ever seen.
Yeah. But
Like
you
the
get that
color,
pepper-
I would paint my wall with that color.
You still get the mintiness in the mouth, like a minty peppermint, spearmint, wintergreen. I think the wintergreen lifesaver type thing. You're getting that happening. It's interesting. A little bit medicine-y in the taste,
Oh.
but boozy for sure. You know, you have a few of these, you're like, I'm on the road to either get tore up or tore down. You have too many. It's a thin road. You go too much, on one of them, you're going to be tore down more than tore up. But
Chug it,
No,
chug it.
put this in a
Sorry,
funnel.
couldn't resist.
But it's all right. It's definitely more of a higher potent thing, not one you want to kind of rush through, kind of snip it through. I almost feel like this is starting to get to that level where you have later on like the Utopia type thing where you're trying to take it shorter type bursts rather than trying to go up and down and stuff. So it's interesting. I think it would play to some more than others. I think some might find it a little overpowering. It's really not, with your doubles, it's going to get more maltier than hoppier, but this at the level they're at, you're not really getting as much of the
Hey, Rod,
maltier hoppiness coming through.
are they coming to take you away? Haha.
No, this is just Baltimore. This is how we roll. You're in Chicago. You're outside Chicago. Dave's in Chicago.
I'm
that's how
suburbs,
Baltimore.
man.
Yeah, Baltimore is like Chicago. It happens. You've seen The Wire. You know how we roll.
I'm just messing. I just thought they were coming to take you away. Haha, hee hee, to the funny farm.
No, part of living next to a hospital, next to a fire department, and down the street from a police station, you hear all the sirens, but you get to know which ones are what. So, that's the interesting beer. So,
Would you buy it again? That's my answer.
Question.
Yeah,
That's my answer right there.
I was thinking if I bought it again, it'd be more like a special occasion type thing. Now,
Yeah.
the 4-pack of this was, I don't remember it being too bad. I'm trying to think if I have the price on my Untapped. I try to put them in there now. It wasn't as much as like buying a worldwide stout or anything, I don't think. Double dog. $18.49 for a 4-pack. So $18.49 for a 4-pack of this versus if you're getting a worldwide and you're paying $36 for a 4-pack. I would say the worldwide or like the 120. I feel like that might be a little bit more smoother, just a little bit more syrupy than that. But at $18.49, I mean, if you're looking to get tore up and just sit back and have beers that you know are going to be boozy and enjoy, it's not terrible. Average score on Untappd right now is a 3.83, so people are enjoying it.
Hey, Rod.
33 people have checked it in that I've seen.
So sorry to interrupt. FLX messaging me asking if we're accepting guests. They're interested in popping up.
Who did?
FLX.
I told him to look at Instagram. What the hell?
Okay.
It's on his Instagram thing. Did he send me a message? You may have on Instagram.
I just told him to check for a message from you.
Oh, yeah. Where do you
While we're doing this, so
when or where? He said, when
me,
did you speak to? Yeah, go ahead.
For like beers, would you buy again?
Mm-hmm.
I don't look at the cost. If it's a good beer, I'm buying it again.
Yeah.
And I don't care if it's something I've liked or I've had in the past or it's a current beer in rotation.
Mm-hmm.
If it's good, it's good. I mean, you're going to spend $20 for a drink at a bar somewhere downtown.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm going to like spend $40 on a 4-pack of a barrel-aged stout or whatever, the price is relative.
Right. Yeah.
So, you know, what are your feelings on?
Well, I mean, looking at this, I was looking at it as, what's up, Dan the man in the house? About time. I sent it to you like how long ago? What the hell were you doing? Put makeup on? Anyway, I'll get back to you in a second. As far as the reason I delayed this is like, I don't usually buy beers over again because I'm trying to drink as many different beers as I can. But if I were to buy this again, it would be more like for a holiday type thing or something like that, maybe a festival type thing. So if I was going to just sit around or I want to do reviews, I probably wouldn't pick it up again. But if it's something I was kind of like, hey, it's the holidays, kick back, just want to get a little bit of a buzz on, kind of chill, share this, I had no problem buying that beer again. So I was just trying to, in my mind, come up with this beer. I will buy this fucking any day, every day, any day of the week. This one is just, yeah, give me more of that. Like I should have bought like more when I was up there, but yeah.
So at my previous job, I was making a lot more money and I had a lot more expendable income. So buying craft beer was on the docket, man. I had no issue buying all the craft beer and all the prices. I wasn't worried about it. Everything was fine. Switching to being a GM at a brewery was a big pay cut. I will admit that freely. And I've had to be a little more selective with my beer choices. However, my day-to-day drinking beer ends up being free between Choose Brewery and my brewery. We do get a lot of like leftover extra kind of beer things that they're just trying to shoo out of the way while they're bringing in new stuff. So I've saved a lot of money on that aspect, but I've started buying more expensive beers. And I'm like, you know, I think I just shot myself in the foot in the long run. Though the free beer is always a plus.
That does help. That does help.
Yeah.
Wait, Big Daddy said Dogfish 120. Actually, it's 18% on the 120 that I saw in here. So
yeah, this Patty Napa Choco Mex thing. I did not pay for this 2-pack that I got. It was from the owner, just handed one out to me. But I would definitely walk back in there and buy this again because holy crackers, it's really good. Like ridiculously good. So
Dan, welcome to the show. First time. How long have I known you? It's the first time you finally wanted to show up. What the fuck?
Hey, listen, I'm on vacation this week, so it's the first time I ever have a Thursday night off.
Well, it's great to see you, buddy. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, my friend.
Yeah. You too. I was like, I was marking down things when I was on vacation. I was like, okay, at nighttime, I could join this stream I could join that stream. Like, so.
Nice.
And by the way, for those of you watching and wondering what happened earlier, when John Pierre was here and John Pierre checked himself out, it wasn't like I got rid of him. I think he realized, okay, I drank too much tonight, and I think he put himself to bed. So just so you're aware of what happened to John Pierre there.
Which
But
is
if you haven't,
he made the decision I'm never able to make. Once I get too far gone, I just stick around. I'm like, okay, I'm good.
well, I saw him start to wobble a little bit more and stuff like that, and then I think he tried to give a wave at one point, and then it was just like he's out. Like, okay, you definitely had a great day.
I just hope like the Jets don't come back because he's gonna have a fucked up morning if they do.
Yeah.
Oh, but Dan, for those of you that don't know, FLX Beer Reviews, check out that channel as well. Dan does good stuff there, him and Mike, so great reviews and stuff. So what are you drinking? Let me guess. Oh, other half.
I am not.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised.
I'm drinking a beer from the Mortalis Brewing Company.
Oh, Mortalis. You've probably got a level.
So this is actually not one of their hype sours. It's an IPA from them. It's Strange Philosophies. It's their rotating hop series.
That can art.
So yeah, it's they always do like the Greek,
Oh, cool.
mythological kind of thing.
Very cool.
The thinking guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, what I drank earlier is much more interesting. And what I drank earlier is 2016 Sukaba from Firestone Walker.
Ooh, okay.
And let me tell you, friends, drinking very, very, very well.
I've got some Firestone bottles in there. I haven't cracked open yet. Now I can get them.
I'm really like, it makes me angry when I drink this size to know that they reduced them all down to the 12 ounce. At the same time, it makes it more drinkable, but it's like for the price for what you get, I'm like, you know.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Well,
it's drinking good though.
I finally bit the bullet. I was telling you earlier and got the Black Tuesday because I was in Jersey. And it was $50 a bottle up there. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to find a better price than this. I'm not going to get it. Just scratch it off the list. So everywhere else is like 60 or more.
Oh,
yeah.
What the Black Tuesday you said?
Yeah. I got
okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Josh picked it up as well. So looking forward to trying it. I mean, I don't know if I went 19 point whatever ABV of a 25.4 ounce bottle, but you know, I'll get through it. I've done worse in the past. So
hold on. Let me check. Funny because we were just me and Kyle. Yeah, I got a bottle of Black Tuesday as well.
No, nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, because it's funny because me and Kyle from No Hype and Nerd Sense, we were just kind of comparing brewery beers to see if we had maybe one we could do a live stream or something with.
Right.
And I had to go down to my cellar to kind of like see what I had or whatever. But yeah, I got a bottle of Black Tuesday as well.
Good. That's always great. Yeah, look at the cellar. Yeah.
Yeah.
If shit goes bad, I got beers to last for a few months at least. So.
Right.
Yeah,
that's true. And since I know how to brew beer, it gives me time to brew up new batches.
It's liquid bread. We're safe. We're safe.
So is it like for me? Is the thing with cellar beers is I sort of know what I have, but at the same time I trick my mind into thinking I don't have them, so I forget about them and I can just let them chill, age a little bit, you know. Because like if I'm like constantly thinking about it, I was like, oh, I have that. I'd love to go down to my basement and just grab it, you know. But I want to. So, what do you guys do with the like barrel aged beers when they come out? Are you like me where you buy at least two so you can drink one fresh and try and age one? Or
I don't even get the two just because for me, I usually don't get around. I usually get older beers like that to hold anyway, so I'm not usually drinking them right when I get them. So that's been able to. Now, if it's something where it's some type of unique type thing, like Dave, who he's getting Bourbon County 50% off where he's at now, I would do something like that and just like age it out over years and have verticals and all that kind of stuff. But most of the time, I'm not drinking until later anyway. So.
I mean, it depends. If something's that good, fresh and new, drink it. You know.
Did you ever try Goose Island Bananas Foster this year?
I don't think I had it this year.
I didn't get to try that one, and I was debating picking some up at the store, but I was gonna see if anyone knew anything about it.
I got it, but I haven't opened mine yet.
So me personally, I will say this. For what I got more of a banana bread kind of vibe. Whereas the banana wasn't directly impactful. It was kind of subtle, but it was there. So like I feel like that beer, like anyone that loves bananas, you're gonna be disappointed.
Gotcha.
But that's my personal thing. And I hate to influence anyone who hasn't had it, but
No, choose the Hefeweizen freaks. So he was wondering about the Bananas Foster, and I was like, I don't know, I haven't tried it. I'll ask the guys.
But for those that who are like, I like bananas, but it's not like I'm not wild about it. I feel like you'll be decently surprised. I just got, if they call it banana bread, I think that's more appropriate than Bananas Fosters. But I could be wrong. I mean, that's all up for how you interpret it when you try it, right?
Right.
So,
Right.
Love a good Bananas Foster.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've got all of the 5 except the prop one, but I haven't cracked any of them open yet. So
for whatever reason, I feel like this year, and I feel like this year was kind of weak in comparison to other years.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It's just it didn't hit the same. Like I wasn't as amped to go try and hunt for the variants. When I got the variants and like I tried them, I was like, oh, it's good, but I don't know, for whatever reason, just a part of me says, why aren't you doing a barley wine every year? Please do a barley wine every year. Just make us all happy.
I think
Do
Kyle
the
had an argument about that too. Like, there's no barley wine. Like, there should be a barley wine or a wheat wine or something.
And you know what? I think it's appropriate. I would like a coffee stout every year as well.
Yeah, coffee stout. Yeah.
I don't know. Joe ruined me. You want to know why Joe ruined me? Because when Joe came over earlier this year, we did some collabs, right? And he brought over a dang 2013 Bourbon County barley wine. It was like one of the delicious beers I've ever had. Ever since then, I'm like, oh, give me the barley wine. So
yeah, you gotta watch out for the beer patrol. He'll corrupt you.
Yeah, right.
But while we're all here, because it is like the last show of 2023.
Oh yeah.
There's gonna be 2024 next week. Any thoughts on this past year in craft beer? Any thoughts for the next year in craft beer? Anything? Predictions, thoughts, reflections, whatever you may have. Anything come to mind? What were you disappointed about? What are you looking forward to?
I see more like hop waters towards like the back end of this year were like really big. And I see more breweries coming out with some because one, it's cheaper to make.
Yeah.
And if there's a market for it, why not capitalize on that market?
It's true.
So I see.
Well, that's how IPAs got so big, right?
Yeah, I see more like breweries and stuff because you could sell hop water at the same price as a pale ale and make money. So I see hop water as kind of like
tapping into that non-alcoholic market.
Yeah.
See, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I really feel like going towards next year, I feel like the NA market's gonna blow up.
Yeah.
Or that really super low ABV market. Like I mean, and I've tried some of like Untitled Art. Untitled Art has a big claim on the NA game, and a lot of the stuff isn't bad, right? Sam Adams, the Just the Haze, for NA, that's decent. And I really feel like a lot of events and like life activities nowadays, like people just want to go, they kind of want to fit in and drink what's maybe popular or what they kind of drink at home and have the same taste. but not have the alcohol to worry about how am I going to get home? How am I going to get around? Can I go to the local sports game or go to an event with my kids and like not get blitzed, right? It's kind of going that way. I mean, I'm not absolutely opposed to it because, like, I love a good low ABV crusher. I really do.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when, like, if you get a low ABV, like, hazy IPA, but really impactful hops, like, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
Me personally, though, like, that aside, I'm just all about right now, just like bang for the buck. What can I get the biggest bang for the buck? Because everything's just so expensive nowadays.
It is.
I mean, you go grocery shop and it's like, it's insane. It's like, okay, what can I get? And for me personally, in my area, Genesee. Genesee is like the biggest bang for the buck I can get. Their seasonals are all $9.99 for a 12-pack. And their seasonals are pretty good, like your Jenny Kolsch's, the Schwartz beer, like all that stuff. And then like their, Jenny Light, Jenny Cream Ale, it's like what, $17 for a 30-pack. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I'm the other half guru. People call me the other half fanboy. And I'll buy their stuff.
I call you
$20 a 4-pack. It's like,
yeah. But that's just me. But no, I get what you're saying. I saw Jenny when I was in Jersey.
I did get a $9 12-pack of the new Fat Tire. I have not tried it yet. Fat Tire was my crossover beer.
You should have talked to Dave. You should have talked to Dave before that. I'm just saying.
The original Fat Tire was
make some brats.
That was my craft beer thing. But I have a 12-pack of the new Fat Tire, and I'm terrified to try it because I'm scared I won't like it. And it was $9 for a 12-pack, which also makes me a little scared.
Yeah.
But
one, check the date, and two, make brats.
No, the dates are fine. The dates are fine.
Yeah.
But the brats is something I might go ahead and try. But yeah, so I haven't tried it yet. But it was my crossover beer, and I missed the original, and I'm sad, and I don't know what to do.
I haven't had the new one, but I know it's not the same as the old one. That's for sure.
It's like the new Sam Adams. It's like, what were you doing? There was nothing wrong with the old one. But, I mean, I'm old. So I know my palate's different than others.
What was that not the go-to? Like when you go to a restaurant and they didn't really have like craft beer or something,
like Applebee's,
and you're just like, like for me, I'm always like, either I'll take the Guinness or the Sam Adams,
right?
And then they switch Sam Adams. I'm like, yeah.
But like, and I'll say to this day, and I'll say till the day I die, Sam Adams Boston Lager on tap was the absolute best. Like if you had it at a place that had clean lines.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Old school Boston Lager on tap was the best. And I would drink that every day and do it proudly.
Yeah. Emerson, you are a bad man, my friend. No shots tonight. Oh, we got Chew's hand in the house. 2 hands. We're getting 2 hands from Chew.
How are you feeling, babe? Strong?
Dopamine to give it
Are you
go
tipsy?
and end up in the popcorn machine.
I want a little bit of the patio nut.
I'll tell you what, you take the patio nut for Mexican chocolate and give me a glass for the beerade.
Tell Chew that Dave's coming to see him Saturday.
Yes, this is Dave from Beer in Front. No, those are resin glasses. I use those to do resin, and you can't give me a resin glass for beer.
Fucking Chew.
Do
Damn Chew.
they want to see Chew smile?
No, don't do that.
What is that?
Okay, so this is paper towel, liquid latex, and stones, but it's made to look like a mouth. It's a craft that I was making for a brewery in the
and it's identical to my
and
teeth.
it's not how your teeth look at all. If that's how your teeth look, you're getting your.
Oh, we caught Chew with a profile there. I can save that clip.
Okay.
We caught him with a profile already. He didn't realize that he stepped too far. He crossed the line.
That's how my teeth look after sitting
She was like that old
bar
school,
for 20
like,
years.
Mob boss, where like, no pictures.
A glass. Yes.
An ass?
She was always
I
a
don't
fan
want
of
an
going
ass,
Saturday Night
I
Live
want
watching
glass.
Mr. Hand. He didn't want to be Mr. Bill. He wanted to be Mr. Hand to help
Yeah.
Mr. Bill. So
Yeah. Well, you know, I thought Mr. Hand was helpful until I did a craft here and we were using super glue and he glued himself to this table behind me.
I
And
thought
then
you were going to say
realized that
glued
Mr.
himself to
Hand was
something
not
else.
as useful.
that's awesome.
We were gluing aluminum to aluminum from the cans, making a craft, and he glued himself to this table right behind me with the super glue, and he's not allowed to play with the super glue anymore.
That would have been a great YouTube video, by the way.
Well, it's actually on our channel. It's Crash and Burn crafts. I have crafts that did not work at all, and I still posted the video of those crafts not working, even though I would make a different craft after. But yeah, so there's a Crash and Burn craft where he glued himself to the table.
So you cut out that part of the short, it'd be like she glued himself to a table and people will tune in.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't just that. So he started out gluing himself to the craft, and then he glued himself to the table on accident, and then he ran his hand through his hair and got trapped on his hair. So it was like a whole thing. But super glue is not a thing he's allowed to play with anymore.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. Yeah, keep the glue away from Chew.
I use super glue a lot, but oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. There's a new message, and I
haven't got to him yet.
Oh my God, how are you, sweetie? And I love you so much, and I'm so happy you're here. And you actually messaged. You always watch and you never message.
Can I get to the message?
I'm so sorry. I'm so excited. Jeff just
Jeff.
Jeff Wagner.
Oh, hey, Jeff!
What? Can I get down to the message at least? Like, the excitement.
Watches, but he doesn't
Whoever this Jeff is, Jeff's pretty popular.
He just said, I love you, Mel Mel. And he said, super glue, choo choo.
Ultimate question of beer. That is the ultimate question. Would you buy it again?
If you want to share this,
Let me get a beverage.
Greetings, Dan. JT said, by the way. Mel, we love that you're a loadie. Give me yourself so I can send some sweet ass knock jokes at y'all.
I told you I'm not posting my cell phone number up here on the chat. You need to message me separately, individually, so that I can give you that. But I'm not giving it to you here.
1-800-HOT-SLUT.
Chew, stop giving out your message, your number.
I'm hot stud.
No, you're hot slut.
You're hot slut.
You asshole.
Basketball Emerson will
Now
get
every
basketball to
time
me.
those numbers.
I know.
Man, I need my pillow. Maybe that's why I can't sleep. What are you doing about where did the basketball thing come from? I have no idea where the basketball came from. Hello, right on JT. Dave, I sent you a message on Instagram. Oh, so if you got
I got this full screen, so I can't even see it. Let me go on Instagram and check this out.
The original craft beer generation is getting older and more discerning. Those BA stouts are so cheap because the man has cratered. Well, there's still some that'll cost you for some of the BA.
I'm not talking about that.
I haven't had a decent hop water. I haven't done hop water since I think Lagunitas back in the day. I need to try some.
Okay.
Some are good. Some are good. Some are better than others.
There's your comment from JJ. Super Luke Choo Choo. Love you, Mal Mal.
This is Jeff.
What's up, cuz?
And Jeff is.
I saw you. Big Daddy saw you. So you saw the profile.
Big Daddy saw you.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Actually, Big Daddy might be stopping by on Saturday.
Yeah, Big Daddy's coming to see you on Saturday too.
Liquid Love.
Uh-oh.
He heard me talking about the patio napper and he wants to stop by. He's going to Whitman's there. So he's going to stop by and see you.
I might not be able to go in.
He's coughing. I might be sick that day.
Big Daddy and Dave will both be there.
So she was stealing my patio napper Mexican chocolate, and I am having a Ravinia Brewing Company Beer Aid Goza. Forbidden Black Rice was reserved for Chinese emperors seeking good health and fortune. Now the weekend warriors are the emperors of this refreshingly juicy beer made with electrolytes, perfect after a tough game. It has Thai ginger, 4.5%, 13 IBUs, and it pairs with friends, rackets, and pickles.
Oh.
Like pickleball.
Nice.
Because
hey guys,
fan art is them, playing sports of sorts. They just had a dead bod basketball tournament in the town, so that's kind of what's on the can there, I think.
Hey guys, I gotta tap out.
Yeah, I see you wiggling. I figured that back's kicking in.
Yeah, the back is done, so I gotta tap out for tonight. But Rod,
Well,
Jay, thanks
thanks
for
for
having me on. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
to everyone else. You know,
Make
thanks
sure
for
to check
being
out.
on.
Make sure to check out Beerfront. He'll have his interview posted for Phil
Yeah.
Wheeler as well coming up this week. So,
But all right, thanks everyone. Happy New Year.
cheers, brother.
Happy New Year, Dave.
Oh, JT. Oh, Dave. I said JT said drop me a line. I think he sent him. You can hit him on Instagram too, JT at Beerfront. What was that?
I'm so sorry. I was having a 14% Mexican chocolate imperial stout, and I switched to a black rice and Himalayan sea salt goza, and it kind of made my face crumple a little bit. I'm okay.
Puckered up a little bit.
The beer is quite good. It's like Thai ginger and sea salt and rice. Like it's really a nice goza, but it kind of hit my taste buds hard after that imperial stout.
With a name like that, I'm gonna want Chinese food now. What's Dan got here? Dan has
As above,
So below. That's
Ooh.
beautiful.
That's nice can artwork.
Yeah, I love
it's,
that.
Imperial Stout with coffee from
Nice.
Mattel.
Ooh. What camera are you using, Dan? The Mortalis glass looks good.
Nice.
What camera are you using?
It's the Sony ZV-1.
Okay, you got pretty good clarity and stuff there. So
Yeah, it's yeah, you can do the like kind of instant kind of focus thing. Works
yeah,
out.
the autofocus and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking. I just got
Sometimes I get real creepy with it. I'm just like,
yeah, that's kind of creepy right there. Yeah, we're good. That's Silence of the Lambs creepy. Yeah.
no. So when you're talking about like the kind of year in review kind of question, Rod,
Mhm.
Another interesting thing is that at least this happened for me is I've gotten more into the bourbon
Okay.
kind of area, and it's kind of reinvigorated my barrel aged stout love or passion, because like I'm being able to recognize more of the character of the barrel, and then in fact like actual like different spirits. Like I'm like, oh, I kind of taste that spirit. Before it's like, oh, I taste bourbon, but now I can be like, when they say, oh, it's aged in Four Roses or Buffalo Trace, I can be like, oh, okay, like
that is so fun. I love that.
No, it is.
Well, see,
Once you
the
like
one I
the
had-
bourbons and then the barrels, I love that.
This one I had earlier, you should be able to get up in your area, Dan, from Long Trail, and it's done in whiskey maple barrels.
So I love when things are like also maple aged as well, like the maple barrels. Like,
yeah,
I don't know about you, but if you've never had bourbon barrel aged maple syrup, it's amazing. Like that is like for a breakfast of champions, my friend. It is
You sound like
amazing.
one of the Canadians. Oh wait.
Well, I mean,
Shame.
Western New York, so we're sort of
pretty much,
right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Niagara Falls, but yeah, bourbon barrel aged maple stout or maple syrup. Amazing.
Yeah.
So do you guys have like a brewery of the year so far that you've been a really fan of?
Oh.
Without spoiling any future videos,
That's a good.
Yeah,
we haven't
do year review.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait until next year. I like you can't do a brewery or beer stuff until after the year. Like people are putting up their best of the year. I'm like, well, the year's not over. I can have a beer Saturday, blow my mind. So I gotta wait.
Okay, so
2024.
Without spoiling it, would there be like a couple of places that maybe stood out to you without ranking them, or
for some of the breweries I've had?
Sure.
This year I've gotten a lot into Long Trail.
Okay.
I mentioned the one here, but I've had some of the other ones. Burlington Beer Company has been another one that's been huge for me. Everything I've had from them has been rock solid out of up in the northeast of Vermont.
I don't have one.
I hear what you thinking there.
He was saying he didn't have one, and I said I do.
What do you got?
Now I'm wondering if I just forgot one in my mind.
No, so for me, Scorched Earth is excellent. We have filmed there before, and we've gotten to know the owner pretty well from doing events and stuff. But nice guy. He bought it off a couple, so they had it running for several years, and then he purchased it, but he's kept it running, obviously. But this is a
didn't
place
really change it.
he didn't
either.
really change it, but
He made it
it grow, you know, which was great. But he had the last time we went, he had a Czech Pilsner, he had a German Pilsner, and he had a Helles. And you look at a tap room that might have 20 taps total, and 3 of them are 2 Pilsners and a Helles. And all 3 of them were phenomenally
knocked
made.
it out of the park.
Knocked it out of the damn park. Like, so well made. And you know, I judge breweries a lot on their Pilsner because it's so hard to hide mistakes, right?
Yeah.
So for him to have those 3 and all 3 of them to be out of the solar system good,
Yeah.
I gotta say, Scorched Earth really rocked Massage
That is
this
true.
year. They really
That
did.
was early on in the year,
It was earlier in the year,
so
but
that's why it didn't come jumping at me.
yeah. But I was super impressed with their work.
Nice.
No, I would put them in my top 5 of new ones I tried this year for sure.
Oh, and can I do a shout out for a brewery for their kindness? Is that a thing that I can do?
You can do it. Yeah.
So I was.
What was that?
That was Chew being an obnoxious.
I mean, at least I do a sound effect. I got that.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. That's what I was doing.
I need that soundboard.
So I was scheduled to work a beer fest. I'm not going to say where or anything, but the brewery I work for is distributed by Glunz, and Glunz was supposed to deliver our beer and things to the event, and I would show up with the tablecloth and stuff, set up the table, and we'd have the jockey box, do the whole thing. I do a lot of brand ambassador work for my brewery, and they brought the barrels of beer, but they didn't bring our jockey box. And I know it was just a paperwork issue, like it just didn't happen. But I was next to Old Irving Brewing Company.
Irving. Yeah, they're pretty solid. Yeah.
Great beer. Their Kolsch is to frickin' die for. But they were super kind. They let me put one of my beers on one of their taps until my jockey box came.
Nice.
So I could still participate in the first part of the event. So I just want to do a shout out for how amazing the Old Irving guys are for helping out Ravinia and giving us a spot to be when our jockey box wasn't delivered. So they were amazing, and I adore these guys. So
No,
just
that
want
was
to
cool.
give a shout out for a brewery.
That's a good thing about the craft beer community is how people come together and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
one that I was thinking too, and it's one that's actually been thought. Actually thinking about as I was looking at Dan's background is to actually be there on site with Hot Butcher puts such a great presence together when you go to the brewery. As far as being an on-site brewery and going to a location and really feeling welcome and really enjoy it. I think Hot Butcher is one of the top ones, I think, as far as a brewery to actually do that. So shout out to Jeremiah and the guys over there and what they're doing.
Well, yeah, because they laid out all the cards when I had all the guys coming from Canada and the US.
Yeah.
We had how many channels? 6 channels?
6 or 7.
6 or 7 channels. They had little cards with everybody's logo on it, laid out on the table, and all of our menus laid out. The table was set aside for us, and it was super sweet of them. They didn't have to do that, and it was really kind of them to do that. So.
And they open up that.
Oh, and they opened up a double
yeah.
barrel a stout that had been aged twice in 2 different barrels for us. That was like a special release. So they opened that up for us too.
Yeah.
That was super nice. So
You really can't say enough good things about Hot Butcher.
I know.
You really can't, because Jeremiah, he appreciates BeerTube. He really does. He appreciates the reviews and everything.
Oh, I got emails from him afterwards saying, "Did your friends have a good time? I hope it was all okay." I'm like,
yeah,
of course they had a good time. It was amazing. Thank you. It was super kind of you. Thank you.
They really appreciate that stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, everyone involved, but like I cannot say how appreciative like we are for like any packages we receive. And like come to find out after all this time, I found out, oh, that's like Jeremiah's like allotment of like his beer from the brewery. And he's like giving that to like beer tubers and stuff. Like that's really cool. And like what they did for you guys' trip, like
well, the GM was the one who told me like they each get 2 cases of each beer that's made, both the owners, and they can do whatever they want with it. So they just started shipping it out to YouTubers, and I was like, that is the neatest thing. Like,
but dude, they know who people are.
Yeah,
like Hot Butcher, right? They went to Holmes Brewery, their festival. Was it Nuclear or something like that? Anyways, Jeff, aka No Jinx, he lives in Michigan. He goes there, right? And Jeff is just there, right? And he's wearing the FLX hat. And so he's walking around, and John from Hot Butcher, he's shouting at Jeff, hey, come here. He waves Jeff over to the booth. He's like, you know FLX? Jeff's like, yeah, I'm friends with him. Like, I hung out with them. I'm from, the area. And like, but they knew who we are. Like, it wasn't just like some one-off. Like, they knew. And I was like, that's cool. Like, they're appreciative of the people and what they do. So, yeah, Hot Butcher's really cool.
Emerson says, chew the force of Rajay compels you to walk in front of the camera and tell knock jokes. Don't fight it. No, but it's it's always interesting when you look back and over the course of the years, so many different beers that try and drink and review, and it's kind of like it's interesting because most of them will kind of be in that middle area, right? But you'll remember those ones that kind of like pop out, that kind of stand out for you. And those are the ones that make that difference, and just that extra quality they put into it. But then when you go to locations and stuff, you remember that kind of stuff too, when the breweries go out and you're like, this is solid. One of the other beers I would say too is, which I got a sign back over here, Elder Pine, here in Gaithersburg, Maryland, is one that's been a kick-ass brewery. That's one of the breweries I really like a lot since being here. Ryan does a lot with their stuff too.
Ryan sent us a beer from them.
Yeah.
It was like a blended beer. It was really good. He sent us them and a lot of Idiom Brewing.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. And the Imprint's been another one. Imprint for me has kind of, and they're out of PA. Their Smoothie series has pretty much set a new bar for me as far as sour ales. Like, their Smoothie, because before I was out west, I had the 450 North coming in. But the Smoothies from Imprint were like, okay, this is to another level for me. This is just like fucking adult fucking slushies right here. This is like perfect. And it's just like, anytime I get a smoothie in front of me, it's like it's devoured. It's just like, so they kind of brought that into a different area, because I was used to the sour. We talked earlier about Urban Artifact being a great sour, but Urban Artifact was sour beer, not as much the smoothie type beer. So different type of little feel in there. But Imprint and Dewey Beer Company here in Delaware, both of them are kind of doing some stuff toward that direction, which has been pretty cool.
Yeah, see, I was living that good life with like Mortalis with their hydros, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just that super just fruit saturated goodness. It's almost like a fruit smoothie shake.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Dan, I would love you to try some of the smoothie sours from Liquid Love, because they are really rocking. Juice Brewery does these smoothie sours that it tastes like you're drinking a straight smoothie. You have no clue there's alcohol in it.
Yeah.
Like blueberry coconut and like all these different flavor profiles. Like there was a mango tamarind one. I mean, they're nuts, but they have fresh fruit puree done into them, and they're so good.
I was wondering where Big Daddy's story was going there.
And they're almost healthy, he said.
Because they add the fruit to it, so they're almost healthy.
So you got to watch the first part of Big Daddy. The creepy side note: barbecue beer event, famous chef Homer Conti, cooking butter barbecue teams, portable Pizza Oven wanted to invite him to check out his brewery that was opening, called Twisted Fork. Before it opened, he hung himself in the brewery. Now it's Old Urban.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
so that was back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah.
So there's a show on the Vice Network. It's called Dark Side of the Ring. It shares like creepy old wrestling tales.
Yeah.
I feel like there's gonna like that's a new series like Dark Side of the Brewery. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Sure.
that's
Well,
crazy.
we've got 3 ghosts at my brewery.
Yeah. Like Old Urban might be haunted too a little bit. Who knows?
I'm willing to bet. I mean, it's a very old building. The building's
Yeah.
been there, gosh, since the 1900s. But the building's super old. So
Yeah. So as far as 2023, like, were there any breweries that kind of disappointed you? Like, where you kind of like, you started to feel like, what are you doing over here now, guys? Like, this is what you used to do. Now you're doing this.
Oh,
Do I still want to be involved? Like, checking out your beers? Like, I don't even know. You're just kind of throwing stuff at me right now.
I've got 2 right off the bat.
Okay.
I got 2 right off the bat.
Now think about it for a minute. Think about it.
No, I ain't gonna think about it. I ain't gonna think about it. All right, first one is Equilibrium,
Mhm.
EQ. They have had the worst luck with, I don't know if it's their canning or whatever, with beers being oxidized.
oh,
Mm.
And here's why this was a pretty big problem. It wasn't just beers, like they're in New York, right? It wasn't just
Right.
beers being shipped to Western New York, but like Bumpy Road Brewers up in Massachusetts,
Mhm.
Tanner in Rhode Island,
Mhm.
multiple people, Joe in Buffalo, like we're all receiving fairly fresh EQ beers, but they were oxidized.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Like I literally bought
were they
a
hazy?
beer that was released 2 weeks from the time they released it to when I bought it. And it got delivered to a beer store near me. And the beer store, the entire beer store is a cooler. Like it's a walk-in
Yeah.
cooler.
Oh,
The beer was
Oh, wow.
immediately fresh and it was oxidized. And there was something going on with their canning.
Yeah.
were they
that was
hazy?
extremely
Are they hazy
disappointing.
IPAs that you were having?
Yes.
Okay. So
And here's the
I
thing:
love
you
having
buy
hazy
EQ
that
straight from the
too.
brewery, fantastic. And sometimes you would get a good beer, but just a lot of oxidation issues. And at first, it's like, oh, it's a distributing thing. People are not keeping them cold, keeping them fresh, whatever.
But, that
But
isn't
there's
how
just been
oxidation-
too many people in too many different areas to say that's what's going on.
Right.
If you're getting into places that keep it cold right off the bat,
No, the cold versus warm does not cause oxidation. The
Right.
oxidation happens when the canning process happens.
so there's been a lot of times where you bought a 4-pack of this beer for $20+ just to drain pour it.
Yeah.
That's an
sucks.
issue.
That's a
Hopefully
big
they
issue.
get their act together.
Yeah.
Second one for me, Automatic. And I'm not going to dive real deep into it. I'm just going to say one word and we'll leave it at that and we'll move on. Founders.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, those founders. Yeah,
I mean,
they just don't. They,
Again?
they can't get out of their own
Again?
way. They can't get out of their own way.
without like, seriously, without getting into it, because, you know, I know like it's just like a whole thing, but like, again,
It's like, you know what? Founders is so bad that even the Mounties said, "Fuck it, I'm not coming on the CBS this year. Just put the horse out there. Fuck it, I don't want to deal with you guys." Not even the Mounties on the CBS. Yeah, it's
I know. So,
yeah. They're like,
There's
oh,
my
we
two.
remove. They're like, oh, we removed so and so. No, you put him on your board, so he's still involved. So it's not like you removed him on that part. You still have the other people that were doing stuff. So yeah. So that's why people ask me, like, you don't see Founders videos on my channel now. And that was actually a great point that Matt brought up from Massive a long while ago. He's like, you knew I was on the Founders. He's like, but you still have stuff on Founders. Like, I never really thought about it. I'm like, you know what? I'm taking it all down because it's like I'm giving them free advertising. I don't want to give that to them.
And
I
here's
used to
the
love
thing.
some Founders beers too back in the day.
And here's the thing. For those that maybe see this
Only
video
one word.
and they see maybe an untapped check-in from me,
Mhm.
the before you are quick to get on the keyboard and be like, you're a damn hypocrite. Listen, in my cellar right now, I have a bunch of old Founders beers I've been aging. I'm not just going to go dump them out because this. It's something I purchased 6+ years ago. I'm not going to dump out what I've invested in. At that time, it didn't happen, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, if I open it and drink it, it is what it is. I'm going to check it in just to log, because I use Untapped personally.
Yeah.
As a log of what I've drank to kind of keep track.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you may see a founder's check-in, but it's going to be an old beer that's been dust covered in my basement.
Well, it's funny you say because Todd asked me that. He's like, I have these fat, like, dude, you bought them. You might as well drink them. Like, don't go pour them out. Like, you know where they're at now. It's all about when you know stuff happens, right? It's kind of like,
right.
Don't be one of those guys like, oh, LeBron, fuck LeBron. I'm going to burn his jersey. Guess what? He came back to Cleveland. Then you go buy a new jersey.
Right.
You know, like, don't, you know, just, you know,
Right.
you got it. So, yeah.
So there's also the question of the artist versus, well, who the artist is. An artist can create something magical and be an ass at the same time. I mean, okay, Aretha Franklin, one of the best singers of all time. She refused to go on stage with Mariah Carey because she felt that the AC was 3 degrees too cold and her voice couldn't handle it, and because she thought Mariah Carey was useless. Okay, you're kind of being a diva, you're kind of being over the top, but you're a great artist nonetheless. I'm not going to stop listening to her songs for that. But, you know, it makes me look a little less fondly on her. And it's the same with Pablo Picasso. He was a freaking mess. His art was pretty cool, you know? And it's just like, how do you draw the line between who the person is versus what they produce? Because the people who are the problem with that brewery weren't necessarily the ones who were making the beer. The ones making the beer were still talented artists creating something that was excellent most of the time, not all the time. I've had a couple that were a little rough, but it's like, it's so hard to say, oh, well, Walt Disney. I love Disney. I love Disney movies. I love it. But Walt Disney had some outdated, upsetting ideas. He did. It was problematic. There are some cartoons, Song of the South, being obvious right up front.
You can do like Dr. Seuss and stuff too. But
exactly.
At the same point, it's kind of like when you know, right? So
I know, right?
If you keep the people in a management role, they're still part of the company. And what are your employees going to do? They're going to do whatever management allows you to do.
Exactly.
So you got to separate it from the tree, or the whole thing becomes poison.
Precisely. And finding that balance can sometimes be tricky with companies, especially like, you know, when it comes to this specifically, like they decided not to excommunicate the problem. They wrapped it up in a new package, and it's like, you know, it's still there though. It's got paper on, but it's still there. And it's, how do you handle that when there's still excellent art being created, but it's so upsetting. I just hate all of that. And just
it's funny because right now, like Barrel of Flow, which is like the premier Black Beer Festival, takes place in Pittsburgh every year. They just had a thing come out today, and they were talking about people they turned down for sponsorship, and Founders was one of them because what they did.
Real quick, this was 2 weeks after release of, just so I can.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's
that oxidized a little bit.
That's
2
not
weeks.
good.
Yeah.
That's not good. Yeah,
Not a little bit.
That oxidized a lot.
Yeah, that's all
That
mucked
was rough.
up there. Yeah. Unacceptable. So I mean,
Rod,
the whole that
she would like to share a thing about how oxidation works. He's very proud of this, and he wants me to do it, but I don't remember it correctly. So I need him to actually say his own stuff.
So from what I found out with oxidation, so you know when a tree has green leaves and it falls down to the ground, within 2 to 3 days it turns brown because of the oxygen getting to that green leaf.
right.
But the same thing with hazy IPAs, because hazy IPAs have a lot of hops, which is the green leaf of the hop plant. I don't know what
It's the
that's
flour.
yeah, you know. So as you're canning, if there is oxygen being either introduced or accidentally being introduced into the can, that what causes the oxidation of it because it's not filtered. So you still have a little bit of those leaves, that flour in there.
Yeah.
So once it's canned, no matter what happens to it, cold, warm, pressurized, that won't matter for the oxidation. It's about the canning process itself that can cause oxidation.
Yeah.
So
there's something in the process of the canning line that affects. A lot of people used to think if you take a beer to cold and you make it warm, make cold again, it's like issue. Like, no, that doesn't affect it at all.
No.
Like
so here's the
it might
thing.
make the beer taste bad doing that. But
Here's the thing.
Well, if you put it in a high heat, yeah.
Here's the thing, which is very interesting. Here is a beer from the same store and a beer that came out the same, released from the brewery the same day as the one I showed you. And this was another anniversary beer from EQ. And it was just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's clearly something, something going on in their packaging issues.
I've actually had a 4-pack where 2 of them were from your first picture and the other 2 from the same 4-pack was from the second picture.
We tried, Big Daddy. We try to get you to just sit down and chat, but you know.
So I mentioned that I gave 2 cases of Thialgazer to my father from Liquid Love Brewing Company. That was the one where we used the Thials from New Zealand for the Phantasm for the hazy. It oxidized. It did.
Yeah.
And we had some extra cases that we couldn't sell because what he's saying, 2 of the cans would be brown and the other 2 would be yellow.
And they'd be the same taste.
Well, the taste was close.
Yeah.
There was a mutedness to the second one,
Sure.
but it wasn't bad. It still tasted okay, but there was a mutedness to the taste, and they couldn't sell them because some of them would be the wrong color. And it was just really interesting to see a brewery going through that situation, trying to figure out why it's happening.
Right.
So I've seen 2 different breweries now go through that whole. Our beers are oxidizing. We don't know why, and we can't sell our beer right now.
And unfortunately, you don't know it until you open it.
Yes.
Like if it was a clear can, you could say, okay, this one's going. We're not going to sell this one.
Yeah.
This one is good. We can sell it. You don't know it till you open it.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, you're stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some breweries, when they're notified, they make amends of it. Like, I think about one of the guys, Eric, used to be on our show back in the day. Somebody sold him like the Brooklyn beer. It was kind of maybe like a 6-year thing they had on their shelf, whatever. It was kind of a funny story, but I told him, I said, reach out to Brooklyn, let them know. He reached out and they actually made amends of it and everything. But to your question, Mal from JT, he said, and I thought when you asked that question, to me, it was like R. Kelly. It's like R. Kelly made good music, but at the same point, I don't listen to R. Kelly anymore because of the whole issues and stuff that he does.
I know,
So
and it's a difficult thing because so say you were growing up and an R. Kelly song was the song you broke up to someone with, and like it's still in your head, and you still love that song, or you hate that song, or whatever else, but it's still a part of your history. I mean, you could bring up the Cosby Show. You could bring up O.J. Simpson and the Airplane movies. You could bring up a lot of different things and just kind of go through the whole situation. But I mean,
it's like
Bing Crosby wasn't the nicest human being in the world, but I still love the song White Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, like if you go to arena for sporting events, especially basketball, they all play a Gary Glitter song.
I know, right?
And knowing Gary Glitter's history, it's like, should you really be still playing that for people?
Well, raise your hands if you still love the song Great Balls of Fire, but he married his 12-year-old cousin.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to say, you know?
Which I found out back in the day, 12 years old is pretty young, but back in the day, people used to marry their cousins. And moving to Baltimore, I found that Edgar Allan Poe married his first cousin.
Dude,
but it was
do you know how many girls or women that work at my place of employment that come from Puerto Rico? And literally, they're like 26, 27 years old, and their daughters, you have to be 18 to work at my place of employment. Their daughters work at the same place. That's how young they had children.
No.
And that's like the culture. I'm serious.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
they're having kids at like 13.
I lived in the Caribbean for 3 years. I know the culture down there, and like, yeah, that's not out of the question.
R. Kelly would taste like.
But okay, so here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I feel like my answers have kind of dominated the conversation. What breweries for you guys that have kind of been lackluster?
Have been what?
Your question originally. I feel like my choice of
Oh,
breweries
your
have
answer.
dominated. So, like, what are you guys'?
Well, I'll let Mal answer real quick. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Mal answer.
All right, I guess that puts all the stuff on me then.
Disappointing brewery. this year.
Disappointing breweries this year.
Fat Tire.
So yeah, Fat Tire being changed the menu that upset not the menu, the recipe for Fat Tire being changed was upsetting.
Okay.
To me. I was sad about that because that was my crossover. That was my first craft beer. I had never had anything like that, and I was so shocked and amazed that I liked a beer. And now they've changed it. And I like I said, I have that 12-pack in the fridge, and I haven't tried it yet, and I'm terrified. But yeah, that made me a little sad.
And they changed it because they were trying to be green, supposedly.
Supposedly,
That's
they
what
were
they
trying
said
to
to
be
the
green
public. I don't know what the real reasons
for
are.
the change.
I'm
but
going to give them that was the reason.
yeah,
And it might be better, the same, or worse
yeah.
once you try it.
Now, I have been impressed this year with Alaskan Brewing Company. I think that they've come out with some interesting things, and they've actually distributed as far as me, which is super exciting for me. But they've had several different, not just the Alaskan Amber, which everybody knows, but our Benny's had like 5 different beers from Alaskan Brewing Company. And for us to have all of that from them was surprising and exciting.
Dang it, Mallory! You're not supposed to praise breweries here. You're supposed to poop on
Oh,
them.
no. It was the good and the bad, right?
I'm
That
just
was
joking.
it was supposed
I'm
to be
just joking.
both, right?
I got a question.
Oh, what's your question?
Once Rod comes back and he answers this question.
Oh, yes.
You know how a lot of times at the end of the year they have the people that died this year, and let's remember them.
Oh, yeah.
You know, to me, we should have the breweries that closed this year,
Yeah.
and let's remember them. You know,
And-
there's a couple. You know,
And we could do that.
yeah.
But I was disappointed at some of the closings that happened here in the Chicagoland area for breweries this year, for sure. Metal Monkey Brewing Company closing upset me on a level that I have trouble expressing. That's the place that Chu and I shaved our heads for charity. They had
It was over a year ago.
yeah, but they had live hard rock bands, scream rock and hard rock and everything. But they did such a great job, and their beer was excellent, and I was really disappointed when they didn't make it. Twisted Hippo burned down a few years ago, and they have gotten in with a community brewing company that's like 4 breweries in one building, but they haven't reopened, and I was kind of hoping they would reopen.
Open their own tap room.
They would reopen their own tap room
Yeah.
that got burned down in the fire. They did not. That was a little disappointing. And then Metropolitan Brewing Company got kind of screwed over by their landlord, and they just closed. They signed a contract for this many square footage, and that's what they were paying for. And they realized they weren't actually getting that many square footage, so they stopped paying the rent, but they didn't have the money to properly fight the lawsuit, and they've closed now. I have Ravinia Festival attacking my brewery right now, and for copyrights on the word Ravinia, which is the name of the neighborhood that we're in.
yeah.
And that's a problem. So that's frustrating as well. So I think most of my things that I'm not happy with breweries on is them closing for whatever reasons they're closing for. I don't want them to close. I want them to stay open because I love them. So a lot of my disappointment in breweries has been them going away. So, yeah.
So is it more about disappointment with certain breweries or just kind of the state of craft brewery? Danny, your question.
Nope, state of craft brewery makes sense. There are some places
Okay.
that should close.
There's a couple that I wish would close. I'm not going to mention their names.
Good move.
There's a couple that I
You
wish
work at a
would
brewery.
close, and they stay open. And I'm like, why?
There's a couple that don't deserve to keep going because they might have a great space or they might have a hook or whatever that brings people in, but their beer is shit and they shouldn't stay open. But there are good breweries with good beer with a good hook that are still fucking closing, and that upsets me.
Yeah.
That's what makes me angry because I can think of at least 2 or 3 breweries that don't deserve to be open, and
Correct.
these breweries that
And
I've
do not
mentioned
mention the
deserve it.
names.
I'm not mentioning names, but the breweries that deserve to stay open didn't, and that hurts my soul a little bit because they had good shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
Well,
would
I
be
mean,
my thing.
the one thing, and we've talked about it on the show in the past a few times, if people want to craft breweries as a seed, they have to be out to support them. So it's kind of like all the different communities have these different breweries. Don't take them for granted. Realize if you want to survive, you have to be out there as well. Kind of loving you talking shit off camera. That's funny.
Shit.
I think with me, before we end up wrapping down, because we're almost at the midnight hour here, 2023 has been an interesting year to watch a lot of the breweries. As far as disappointment type things, obviously the second founders type thing, because you're kind of waiting to see what's going to happen there. And again, they shoot themselves in the foot or whatever you want to call. It's just like, you know what? I just can't mess with you guys anymore. Just you're out. I mean, I don't know how many times you guys would keep screwing up and doing stuff. And I knew people that worked for founders for years, and it's just like good people, but it's just like your management. It's just not. You know, if you're not going to welcome, then I'm not putting dollars toward a brewery. I'm not going to talk about people putting dollars to your brewery when you're doing the shit that you guys are doing out there.
And you can put dollars into a brewery that's not doing shit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But there's I guess as far as things being anything disappointing about the craft brewery, I would just say, or craft beer in general, more of, I like to see, and we're heading that way, but just more of that return to other styles and getting away from just IPA.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing more breweries
Amen.
now.
Hallelujah.
I'm seeing more breweries that are doing Schwartz beers. I'm seeing more breweries that are doing Keller beers. I'm seeing more breweries that are bringing back box. I see them doing other stuff where, you know, some of the dark ales, Cascading Ale or Black IPA. They're getting away from just that straight IPA and like starting to break away, like kind of find your own lane, do some other stuff. Ralph's beer has been a great year that I've seen from breweries. I've seen a lot of breweries pop up with some great Ralph's beers recently. So that's kind of been a good thing that's been taking place here. You know, you mentioned the demise of some of the breweries. I feel like, it's sad to see some of the breweries that are making. Obviously, we lost Anchor this year, which was a big hit.
Anchor did the big one.
Yeah, a lot of people like Anchor. A lot of people love getting their Christmas type beers. But then again, that goes to their management. I think they stretched themselves too thin, and they went into Sapporo. And when you go under a big company, you become a balance sheet play, and they're going to start to dictate stuff. So everybody says, "Oh, they're going to leave them alone." Now, at a point, they're going to be like, "Why is your numbers off?" You know, right now Stone is under Sapporo as well, so it'd be interesting to see how that kind of shapes out there too. But then we also saw some macro breweries selling independent breweries back to independent, which was great. So that's been a great part of the year in that regard. We've seen some people coming back. I know like 10 Barrel, I think, was when they came back to being independent, and a couple other things. So Anchor, the workers are trying to bring it back for themselves, take over as a co-op to make that independent. So that'll be a good thing.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So it's kind of great along those lines. I think that the big thing will be if they can find enough of the support, because as we talked about earlier, we are seeing a trend where other things are now pulling money away from the craft beer area or the beer area, so to speak, with the seltzers, the ready-to-can drinks, all kind of stuff we touched on. So I think that some of the things taking place set up a nice, interesting mix as we head into 2024 as far as what we're looking at. I think that, I mentioned the DeClaw beer I had earlier. I feel like they were a little bit disappointed. They've become a hit. They become a hit and miss brewery for a lot of people. And people have noted it here. People have noted on some of the stuff that I've done on other feeds, on Twitter and all that kind of stuff. Don't try to do everything for everybody. Too many breweries trying to do everything for everybody, and that means you're going to do nothing for nobody.
Right.
Find your lane, make the best thing you can make it. Don't try to go out there and do everything. Like, if that's not going to be your feature type thing, then don't have to get involved with it. It's like, I mess with Dan with Other Half. Other Half, from what I've seen, IPAs and stouts. They slam both of them. There's no need for them to go do a Rouse beer. There's no need for them to do a Schwartz beer. They could, I'm sure, but they do such a good job what they're doing. You don't have to do that.
No, you don't have to. Yes.
It's not.
They are doing some of those other styles, but they are doing them on a tap only basis.
Yeah, small batch
as part of their experimental area, which is Domino Park.
Just gonna say,
but like Rod said,
was to die for.
It's experimental tap only. We're not breaking our bread and butter.
But that's a smart way to do it. That's a smart way to do it. You do it a small thing. You don't put out for mass distribution. You kind of get Braxton Brewing out of Kentucky used to do a great thing like that with Braxton Labs. Braxton Labs is their small batch thing, and they would kind of test stuff there. And if it picked up, they would kind of go look to develop from that. They did it in a very smart way. So I just feel like there's too many breweries that are trying to chase the money too much, and you're making yourself less of a brewery.
Yeah.
You come there to get good quality. So it's kind of like, and I go back to the call, you make other good beers. You don't have to keep trying to come up with these things and throw at the wall for these sour meat series. Like you have some good sour meat, you have some that are bad. It's just like, if it's not ready, it's not ready. One of the things I'll give credit for is New Holland, Dragon's Milk. And they make all good stuff, right? But Dragon's Milk decided this year, you know what, we're going to pull back and stop trying to do this and this and this. Let's get back into our lane and we'll make these 3 type of beers, and then we'll focus on that and going forward instead of every 4 months coming out with something of a variant of Dragon's Milk. And the beers have been great. The Crimson Rain has been improving. Yeah, they're doing that too for the distilling and stuff. But I mean, it's.
I know. I gave a bottle to my dad. He wasn't impressed.
He didn't like the gin.
He likes gin a lot, but he was not overly impressed with the one from New Holland.
I mean, it's something new for them to try to do, I guess. But on the beer front, they've kind of narrowed their focus back in some, and in the competitiveness that we have right now, you have to, if you're a brewery, I think, know where your area is and build on it. One of the class examples we talked about in the past has been Sawgrass out of Kansas, who had made some good beers, but they stretched themselves too thin. Or Tallgrass rather. And they ended up having to fold. And if they would have just kind of focused in on their stuff, they probably would have done a lot better for it. Anchor could be another example of that. If you're doing 70% of your stuff in California, there's no need to try to go nationwide. We appreciate it, those that get it, but at the same point, you're doing a disservice to yourself once you run into a problem later on.
And I love how many people loved Anchor Steam, but honestly, I tried the beer and I was not happy with it.
Well, no, but see,
I did not like Anchor Steam at all. And no offense to them, it's just I didn't like
it. I think it was Dave at one point that brought up, like, everybody likes Anchor, right? And you have it, you're okay. But then again, do you ever say, you know what, I'm going to go pick up some Anchor? Not until Christmas time.
Yeah. so that's the thing with Anchor, right? For like, I'm sure for a majority of people, and including me, Anchor. Yeah. So Anchor Steam was one of the first craft beers I had.
Correct.
Which is the local beers of the world, right?
Yeah.
The Christmas ale. So down the cellar, I have the 2021 and 2022.
Yeah.
And my plan is I'll drink one of each Christmas. 21, banging this year.
Yeah.
Banging. Aged great. But yeah, you're right. It's like it's there, and then when it's gone, you're just like, oh, like, you know what I mean? it's like I don't know if I'm wrong for saying this, but it's like the ex-girlfriend of yours that you're like, you appreciate, they're there, then they're not, but when like you see it pops up on your social media, they get married, you're like, no, what? You know, like that's what it's
You're
like with
it's off
Anchor.
the market. I never wanted to be on the market for that one, but I'm pissed off that it's off the market.
That's what I feel like
Now
with
that I
Anchor
can't buy
it is.
I'm pissed.
You know, with Anchor, there's always the possibility. With the ex-girlfriend, there's always possibility.
Yeah.
But then you saw they get married, you're like, shit, it's gone.
So my first boyfriend was the photographer at mine and Chu's wedding, by the way.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And he got married before me, and his wife is lovely. His children are adorable as heck. But yeah, he was the photographer at our wedding, and his wife couldn't make it because she was 8 months pregnant. But she was invited.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And he was in the dressing part of you, correct? Taking pictures?
Dressing part of me? I don't know what that means.
As you're getting dressed?
Well, he didn't see me naked.
Well, I didn't say that, but
Not then.
Did you look at the stress on Mallory?
Oh, wait a minute. You're
She was
talking
naked.
I'm like, whoa, what are you talking about, man?
Oh.
Well, you guys were getting ready too, didn't he?
He took a picture of me and my skimpies.
Oh, did he? Okay, that's good.
That seems to be a friendly wedding.
He said I'm going to blackmail you.
He didn't say anything
No,
of the sort. He's
not
a
at all.
person. He's a lovely human being.
I think we got the makings of a new show on Bravo here.
Chu has a question.
Are you kidding me? Rod, this is some 90 Day
I
Fiance
know we're
spinoff on
getting a little
TLC.
late. Maybe next year. This is a question for either today or next year. What do you think is the trends for 2024? What do you think is going to be the next big thing? What's going to happen going on in beer wise?
So we discussed this a little bit earlier. We talked
did you?
about
Okay.
low ABV and NA
All right.
being a big thing because a lot of the younger generations are choosing not to drink as much.
Emerson,
Motherfuckers.
No,
we'll do a shot.
don't satisfy Emerson with a shot. You don't have.
Oh goodness.
Or gluten free. That
Oh,
might
We'll do
be
a
it.
holiday soft red wheat.
Ooh, look at
Bottle of
that.
wine.
Well, Dan's off this week, so he's going to do a shot.
I don't
for you,
have a
Emerson.
bottle in my craft room, unfortunately. So
Was a shot? That was a sip.
that was a sip. That wasn't
Come
a
on,
shot.
do a shot.
Seriously? I'll look at
That
his
was
phone. Why he's
You
putting it
got a
away.
beard. Do a shot.
You barely even touched the lips on that one.
I know. Are you serious? You pull out a bottle and you expect us to accept that as a shot.
That's terrible, man.
I know, right?
Talk to the hand.
I don't know who taught you how to do shots, but that was
Oh,
okay.
well,
a little wild turkey.
there you go.
Okay.
Fair breed.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, let's see a little more than a touch to the lips.
I want to
shall
see
we?
the bottom of that.
You drank it slow enough.
You were slow going on that one, but that's cool. Oh, look at the face though. I'll accept it for the face. The
Yeah.
face.
The response
I
shows
mean,
you.
What did you have on Christmas Eve?
Oh yeah, Chu, why don't you run down and get our Malort? Oh wait, no.
Oh
No.
my God, my Lord, Jesus Christ, no!
Oh, Emerson's
I've heard enough about
Chu
Malort.
started some shit. So yeah, okay, one fun thing that I do for my family for Christmas, I make a saran wrap ball. Have you guys heard of this for Christmas? So you do the saran wrap and you have all the mini liquor bottles in there. Oh, it's Buffalo
I
Trace.
need a Buffalo Trace.
Ooh.
So
Hey, that was from Buffalo Trace.
oh, the Mexican choosing the patio napper, the Mexican chocolate was from Buffalo Trace barrels.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, we did a saran wrap ball, which you do like bottles of liquor, the mini bottles, like airplane bottles, all in this saran wrap ball, and everyone wears
Oven
mitts, and you have to unwrap the saran wrap ball, and it's a silly game. It's really fun. But I had 6 of the 7 people who were there for Christmas Eve I'll have to take an entire little mini bottle of Malort because I'm an ass. And
Yeah,
I found that funny.
pretty much. If you're doing that, making them take Malort. Yeah.
Yeah, gotta love the Malort.
The only one you didn't make was your aunt.
My aunt did not get a bottle of Malort out of the saran wrap ball. She got other things. She got a rum chata and a couple other things, but she didn't get the
There
Malort.
you go.
Yeah,
Well,
that was fun.
66% of people do not have a New Year's resolution. So
Yes. I heard that it's 37% of people in the U.S. last year made resolutions.
My
so you're
resolution.
saying our poll was pretty much on tap there.
I-
34 said they have.
I've got a New Year's bet.
No, I'm truthful though.
What?
She was saying that his resolution is not to make a resolution. And I said, yes, somebody already said that joke. And he said, no, but I'm truthful. And I wasn't accusing him of not being truthful. It was just somebody already made that joke about how you're halfway successful when your resolution is not to make resolutions.
Not halfway. 100.
No, you've made a resolution to not make resolutions. Therefore,
it's
you are
either 100 or zero.
successful. No, you're 50% successful because you made a resolution to not have a resolution.
I feel like we're gonna have to fight this out afterwards. Hurry up and turn off the video.
Rocket is socking robots.
Wrap it up. They've got a brawl for all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the timing is perfect because I think we're going to wrap it up here because
You're welcome.
we went for a while tonight. We went longer than I thought it was going to go. Well, usually we're trying to go 8 to 11, but we started late because of technical difficulties. But
Yes.
I got to make sure we go enough that is not too much for the podcast replay because
Sure.
that limits it. But thanks for
Cheers, guys.
cheers. I drank the last of my beer. I drank the 18% Flying Dog, and I'm feeling good
Take
right
that
now.
shot in the fridge.
Don't tell me to take a shot.
I feel good with my 2 shots, even though the 1 shot wasn't considered
You
a
just
shot.
talk to him once a week. Can you imagine living with this fucker? Like, are you kidding me? Like,
He must be a Star. He must be a Star Wars fan because he's trying Jedi tricks.
I get he's like, time to take a shot. And I'm like, dude, I just came from work. I'm going to bed. What are you talking about? Take a shot. No, that's him.
Oh shit! But next week when we are back, it'll be 2024 election year. Oh shit's gonna get crazy next year. Make sure you stock up on alcohol because it's gonna be a crazy year. I'm telling you that right now.
The alcohol for this one.
And if the Browns and Lions make it to the Super Bowl, as I said earlier in the show, yeah, it might be end days. I'm just saying, it might be end days.
I'm going for that.
I'm telling you, that is
for
my
that.
dark horse. Like the Browns Super Bowl, are my dark horse. Flacco will lead them to the promised land.
Well, the Browns getting there or the Lions getting there is fine. But if it's Browns versus Lions, it's end times. It's end times. Like
There's going to be
it's a
12
wrap.
people watching
It's
that
a wrap.
game if that happens.
When I quoted Jean Pierre, he thought it'd be the biggest Super Bowl ever if the two get there. Jean Pierre said it'd be the biggest Super Bowl
Entirely
ever.
sold on it being the biggest Super Bowl ever if it's the Browns and the Lions.
Now he was drunk.
It could be 12
and that's
people,
what he believed in his heart.
but I will be one of them.
But yeah, I wonder if they bring Barry back. Barry Bryant be an honorary captain if they make it to the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Bring back Barry Sanders and Bernie Kosar.
Hashtag Megatron.
Megatron, yeah.
Happy New Year, James. See you on the other side of the arbitrary line. Yes.
I need to do more of these. I'm actually thinking as I'm revamping stuff for 2024. I feel like I need to do more lives during the course of the week, but one night alone, we do a lot of shit. So I don't know. I don't know if I can get more lives in during the course of the week. I don't know if people are ready for that to happen, but I don't know.
Well, my hope is to have any kind of edited video ever. Like, and not a live, just an actual
Why do you
video
look
going.
Well, you got these videos on your channel now.
I
too,
though,
so.
This is what kept my channel alive until I can like get back into.
Well, we're
actually
getting more
having
about
content.
schedule,
I know.
a personal life together.
I know. Once we get the personal life and the full-time jobs and all that sorted, we can get our channel going again because
We
it's
can
gotten a
make
little slowed
fools
down.
on our own channel.
Yeah, we can be fools on our own channel, like on our own time.
The thing about a Dalton is it
Cool
never
for
really. The things about a Dalton, it never really happens. So you guys got to fucking do it. Because
Oh,
you never
no,
get what you can never plan for it because when you're adults and it doesn't
I
happen.
really truly believe it's going to happen. We just have to find a way.
It's like you just jump in. You jump in just like when you go into the pool. You jump. What is that? You got a foot thing going on.
Get up there.
I don't know.
Quentin Tarantino is not here right now for the foot fetish. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I was trying to get that 1% guy that likes feet.
Stu, I don't know what to do with you right now. But
You are fake
Now you know why I don't come on here too often.
So he finished his work at the brewery, had a few beers, and then got a lift home. So then he had the other half of my 14% once he got here.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, just remember this weekend is New Year's Eve weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So when you walk into the when you walk into the bar, the pub, the brewery, wherever you're going to, step up to that bar with pride and just remember to tell them.
Fans, welcome you back, man. First of all, I would like to thank the many fans throughout this country. I admit I don't look like the athlete of the day supposed to look. My belly's just a little big. My hand is just a little big. But, brother, I am bad, and they know I'm bad. I want you at home to know my hand is touching your hand for this gathering of the biggest body of people in this country, in this universe, all over the world now. Reach it out because the love that was given me, and this time I will repay you now. Love you.
And then order that drink with pride, my friends. That being said, we are out of here. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. Thanks, Mal. Great year, 2023. Thanks, Dan, for the first time ever being on FLX.
And the last time
Make
ever.
sure to check it out.
No!
From my next vacation, I'll say.
Doorway.
Dave from Beer Front. John Pierre passed out wherever he may be. But we look forward to catching up with you guys next week into the new year. Y'all have a great one. Safe. Enjoy. I look forward to talking to you soon.
Happy New
Cheers,
Year.
everybody.